Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Of the Devil. I'm here with my good friends River, Sophia, and Molly. How are y'all doing?
Doing great.
It's been a very long week. I need to unwind with my cousin Morgan.
Are you cousins?
No, I was I was kind of struggling with the court case last week. So as research, Molly made me watch the 1992 movie My Cousin Vinny, which apparently is the most realistic depiction of the American legal system in cinema.
Yes, they use it in colleges.
Excuse me?
Sorry.
Not everyone talk all at once.
Sorry. Yeah, they use it in American colleges.
Yeah, we looked that up on Wikipedia.
Huh.
A few truths became clear to me watching that movie. One, American evidence law seems like some big old nonsense. Two, American court examinations or cross-examinations also seem like some big old bullshit. Most of all, what became clear to me is that American court isn't about finding the truth together. Like, you know, I went into this as a detective game, which it essentially is. It's still about solving murder mysteries in a way, but the Ace Attorney franchise gave me a misconception that court is about finding the truth together. My cousin Vinny showed to me that it's more about obfuscating inconvenient truths.
Oh yeah.
So that I feel like I'm in a better mindset now to tackle this court case in the game. Does that make sense?
Courts aren't about finding the truth, you silly Billy. It's about how much you can lie about it sounding like the truth.
I'm not a liar by nature. So that does kind of go against my instincts. I'm a truth seeker. I like to know what's going on.
You do?
Yeah. I like detective stories. That's like a whole thing with me. You know this.
Oh yeah. Okay, so quick recap, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. Yeah, what the fuck was going on? Let's see. So Emma's on the stand. No, that's not right. Jess is on the stand.
No, Hetero Jessica's on the stand, yeah.
Hetero Jessica.
Yeah.
I love 8084. Someone explained to me that this name is a pun because 8 and 4 are H and D in the alphabet, so her name is ADHD.
Oh,
That's cute.
That's good. I like that. Plus 2.
Let's see here. What's going on? Right. The question was, what was the last conversation with Dr. Ashore? And Jess said, they talked about us, or me, being Morgan.
Yeah, we're basically stalling for time for Sarah to get all the information.
Sarah has to decode the hidden message left by Dr. Ashore. And in the meanwhile, we're trying to stall so our victim, so Dr. Ashore doesn't get declared insane for committing suicide. What's the story?
Yeah.
I believe that's Sophia. Hello?
Jess?
Hello?
No,
No,
I'm
Jess was
not saying
Molly.
Jess.
Who's Jess?
It's me.
You're Jess.
I'm
I
Jess.
misremembered. You're
I'm-
Jess. Okay, excuse me.
You were Molly.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
And how he wanted you to have his android.
That's a dangling principle.
That android. There. Putting his affairs in order, I guess.
It might appear that way.
Hmm?
Can you specify what his instructions were exactly? How did he want this done?
Well, he wanted me to bring you to his penthouse and help you get set up as the android's new owner.
Yes, Miss Starling, but when did he want this to happen?
Well, he said it was pretty urgent, and so I should do it first thing Tuesday morning.
Oh.
Tuesday?
First thing Tuesday morning. David Ashore didn't look that.
Warm up,
Hang on,
warm up.
I'm warming up. David Assure
Log in.
didn't like doing anything on Mondays. And was he going to be in attendance?
He, well, actually, yes. He said he would work from home to help us. No way he intended for us to have that much trouble getting into... Oh. Oh!
To summarize then, half an hour after he had already had his breakup, and half an hour before his guest had arrived, he was planning an appointment that would require his presence with you for next Tuesday.
That's right, he was.
That doesn't sound very suicidal. Not something you would think to do if you were planning on dying that very night.
Yeah, you're right. That's...
Your Honor, if David Assure is preparing for the week ahead, a mere hour before he passed away, don't you think the people's assumptions about his mental state ought to be re-examined?
That's...
Your logic is sound. Do the people have a rebuttal?
If the court will just allow a moment.
This is the first time we've really seen Emma shaken, huh?
Yeah.
She's kind of dropped the ball all of a sudden. Haven't seen that from her yet. Sounds like an opening to me. If we assume that Dr. Assure was not suicidal, and therefore did not kill himself, we must then ask ourselves who else had the means, motive, and opportunity to take his life. Until now, we've taken for granted that this idea that the Delta must have come from his manufacturer, from inside the house.
Adonai.
Not right now. But even if that's true, which it may not be, that doesn't mean he was the one who used the manufacturer.
Adonai.
Would you allow me one moment to confer, Your Honor? Sure. Why not throw away your momentum? I'm in the middle of something, Sarah. I can't afford to let Rockford...
I've gained access to the hard drive's files.
Oh shit, my fucking...
What? That's loud.
Seriously?
As I said, progress with this type of encryption is exponential.
Whatever that means.
It can be difficult to estimate.
Right, okay. Do you have the footage from last night?
I have the file.
Have you watched it?
I thought you'd want to know right away.
Suppose it doesn't matter. Either this is Either this has our silver bullet and we've got a case, or it doesn't and everything falls apart.
That seems quite risky.
Oh, I love to gamble. It's the least risky path to victory we have. Seeing how it's the only path to victory we have. Screw it. I need to fucking calm down. I'm too excited. Too excited to play this great game that you can try on Steam. That the first chapter is free, the second chapter is like $10 if I recall. It's very affordable, it's very good, it's very worth your money. Don't buy a Switch. Don't buy a Switch too. Have you played Hi-Fi Rush yet? Screw it. I uploaded it to the core computer.
Yes, Adonai.
Thank you for your patience, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
I'm awake. And I'm getting a pretty hefty chunk of video data for breakfast. Yum.
You're submitting security footage into evidence. New security footage?
The police corroborated the witness's testimony using the house's cameras. Security cameras installed by Noble as part of the penumbra system that showed the parlor, the kitchen, but not the basement. During the course of my investigation, I uncovered a hidden security circuit buried in the deceased's own home system.
You... what?
The people say that the Delta must have been in Dr. Assure's cup because there's no other way for him to have ingested it. But we never saw him or anyone else put anything in his cup on camera. See, this is where my knowledge of Cousin Vinny conflicts. Because aren't I supposed to, like, show all the evidence I'm gonna show before the trial starts?
Yeah, you're supposed to do that. This game in Ace Attorney just likes to do it on the whim.
Okay.
This is pretty irregular,
For
but
drama.
No, this is actually extenuating circumstances because you didn't have the evidence ready at the time you brought it in.
I guess this is also technically a preamble to the real trial, right? Like, this whole thing is to decide whether a trial should even happen. That was like a
Precisely.
whole thing. Oh. But we never saw him or anyone else put anything in his cup on camera.
Because he must have poisoned his own drink off camera.
Exactly.
What?
That's the only possible explanation, that he added the delta to his drink off camera. He placed his cup inside the manufacturer, activated it, waited 2 minutes, and then walked upstairs to his death. But I'm about to present to the court footage retrieved from his basement. Footage that will show that by the time he retrieved the cups in his basement, it was already past 7:38. Meaning he didn't have the opportunity to poison himself. One clip of footage will prove all that? If it doesn't, I'm completely screwed. But it's not like I can lose a preliminary hearing extra hard. Anything other than the royal flush here means I'm bust. So better to be the Joker who dances. The data has been entered into the court record. Sarah, show us when Dr. Rashur entered the basement.
Yes, Adonai. I'll search for it now.
Let's go gambling. I forgot to turn on Morgan. My cat.
Oh,
Morgan.
yeah. Do you want to put her slightly down
Yeah, I will.
as well?
I will do that.
Do you want to move the plushie too?
Gamble time.
I
Hope
can-
I hit the jerk pot.
Not what it's called.
Juckport, $1 trillion.
Nope, still not what it's called.
What are you doing?
Here.
On screen. I'm a captain from Star Trek. That's the bar, and the timestamp is 7:36. There, David's grabbing the bottle of Rose River. And leaving.
At 7:37. Just under the wire, as it were.
Is that it then? I came this far just to... Wait. Did he have the cups with him?
Is there sound?
Not at all.
Hmm.
Keep going. If he had to go back to get the cups.
Counselor. What's that android doing on camera?
Huh. Hey Sarah, you didn't tell us about this part.
It's at the bar. The android gave him the cups.
Shit.
That machine never stepped on camera upstairs. Not once. We don't know its whereabouts the day of his death. It could have poisoned the cup whenever it wanted.
Shit.
What is this?
Wait, you don't know?
I don't understand.
Your Honor, have the courtroom cleared.
Understood.
Please, someone. I don't know what's going on.
Sarah, you need to shut down.
No, please, tell me what I'm looking at. I don't remember any of that.
Do we have a caller? Do we have callers available?
Excuse me? Sarah, shut down now.
Adonai, please. Please, tell me what
That's an order. Oh, Sarah. You Maya Fey XBU. Is it off? Yeah, it's off. I've seen it before. It won't do anything until I reactivate it.
We don't know that. We don't know anything about this thing anymore.
That's...
Your Honor. In light of this most recent evidence, the people would like to withdraw their charges against Dr. Ashur and end this preliminary hearing. It has been made abundantly clear that David Ashur did not commit suicide.
Very well. The charges are withdrawn and the defendant is free to go. Well, as free as you can be in the afterlife. This case is dismissed. Congratulations, Councillor Morgan! You win! Yay. Chalk up another victory for Morgan Esquire. Now all I have to do is deal with the shitstorm of the decade. I'm quite certain that Sarah told us that she hadn't woken up since like the day before that.
Mhm.
So that's
Yes.
a whole can of worms. Well, I managed to prove that David didn't kill himself.
Woo.
And in the process, I proved that his android did kill himself. What? No, that doesn't. I get what she meant, but that doesn't flow grammatically. I proved that the android that's been walking around with me all day is capable of murder. A killer robot. A true unbound AI with military-grade specs and at least one death to its name already. So much for avoiding the public eye.
Thank you for coming here on such short notice, Judge Barrows.
What the fuck is this?
Oh,
Who's taking this character?
uh,
Yeah.
I'll take her.
How do you?
Purple.
Yeah, do go for it.
Purple? You saw purple and you're like, that one's mine?
I like purple.
No, I respect it. I'm kind of like that with red, so I get it. I understand the inclination. Here we go.
Ah. Since I'm doing you some kind of favor, I didn't realize I had any choice in the matter. This is some bad joke, isn't Miss Rockford?
I'm afraid not, Your Honor.
You know, I like adjutants. I always have. They deal with the criminal trials so that bookish, quiet, contemplative people like me can spend all day typing up arguments for obscure legal treaties.
Treatises. I don't know what a treatise is. I don't know what that is. I'm looking to the crowd for...
Forms, basically.
Eh?
Obscure legal edge cases, disagreements, unusual forms, and cases.
River, could you speak up a bit? The chat is complaining.
That's what I'd like to do.
Better. Links texts and Barrows, Melissa Barrows. I dated a girl named Melissa at one point. Didn't work out. Superior Judge of the Higher Circuit. What does that mean? Higher Circuit. Is that like where we are?
Have...
Like the neighborhood?
No, courts have circuits.
What does that mean?
Okay, so there's like tiers of judges basically. There's lower circuit judges, which is like I believe on the local level, higher circuit, which is on the state level, and then supreme, which is on the federal level. Is that right, Molly?
Yeah, I think so. I'm actually not super familiar, but that
I
sounds
don't
about
understand.
Right.
Okay.
It's just tiers.
Likes air conditioning, espresso, and reclining chairs. A creature of
I
comfort.
love air
see.
conditioning.
I wish I knew what air conditioning felt like.
Oh God.
Oh God.
I live in a cold country. It's getting warmer. We are not built
It's
for
cold
it.
right now.
Dislikes parking lots, noise pollution, mud. Avoids overspending on restaurants. Splurges on expensive hotels. Relaxes by watching action movies. I like her style. I like her style.
I don't like coming down here and dealing with all this heavy-handedness.
Won't someone toiling away under the police state think of the poor bureaucrats?
And I certainly don't like making rules on anything as spicy as AI.
She can barely bring herself to say it.
And you, Councilor Morgan, you're the one it's registered to?
I want to be very clear. It wasn't registered to me when it killed somebody.
Are you positive?
But yeah, I have the logs on that. That wasn't me. That's correct, Your Honor.
So, what did it do exactly?
AI,
Torture an animal?
that movie
Shut down a
sucked.
hospital?
Did it?
Crash a coin market?
Is that talking about crypto?
Yeah.
Almost certainly.
We have it on camera poisoning a man. Killing its creator.
You mean Dr. Ashore?
Hmm.
That is... Can't hope to keep this quiet for very long.
I mean, isn't this all public record anyway?
Specifically
Oh,
the
we can-
part about it being an AI.
Yeah. All we can do is try to wrap it up quickly. That's my case. Adjutant, do you have the case number?
Case idea is 241277A, docket number YT984318282.
Oh, thank you. Can you repeat that?
No. YT984318282.
I think I lost you after the first 8.
I have it copied here.
Why do I even try?
Oh, thank you, dearie. What are the security procedures for an incident of this nature?
A data quarantine is to be established around any networks the subject was exposed to for more than 66 seconds. All offending hardware is to be destroyed immediately through incineration at a minimum temperature of 3,422 Celsius for 30 minutes. For the
Is that
Americans in the audience, that is very hot.
Yes,
It's like,
I'm aware.
It's like over
It's
100
got
degrees.
a comma in it.
A
It's got a
hundred-
comma in it.
100 degrees Celsius is when something burns or like cooks. That's the boiling point of
Boils.
water.
Well, yeah.
You would not survive at 100 Celsius. This is talking about 3,000. So, at
This is
that point,
liquefying it.
at that point, it's a wash. Like she's melting, she's disintegrating.
Yeah.
Sorry, Spearmint. There's nothing to be done. No debate to be had. This isn't even a decision. Sorry, Sarah. Not Spearmint. David gave you that name. I should at least make the effort to use it.
That sounds really hot. Do we have furnaces that get that hot?
Of course! There are a number of industrial furnaces within the city limits that I could recommend.
Oh my god.
How did these rules even get established? Why is it specifically 66 seconds, and why is it so fucking hot?
Probably
Well, she's an
security.
android.
Probably security procedures they came up with once androids started like appearing on the
I
marketplace.
understand why it's necessary. I don't understand why these specific values. I don't see the benefit in it being 3,422 exactly.
Make it extra hot. They
Yeah,
picked
but
a number at random, but
you
so long
can-
as it would melt everything.
You can pick a round number.
Like
You're upset
3,420?
that it's not a round number?
A little bit of setting. I'm not autistic, whatever. Sorry? Why should I be sorry anyway? I fulfilled the request. Favor repaid. I don't owe Sarah anything. Especially not if it killed my friend.
Right, Morgan?
I'm sorry?
I was just saying how grateful I am that we have the procedures for this kind of thing all laid out already.
Yes, keeps things nice and simple.
It can feel somewhat severe going through these steps so quickly, but
But nothing, Your Honor. Artificial intelligence is perhaps the greatest threat to human civilization and the sanctity of life there's ever been. Any piece of software, big or small, no matter the vessel, if it can violate the tenets it was programmed with, it has the potential to cripple our nation in a matter of moments.
yes. Couldn't have said it better myself.
I feel nothing. I am a cold... I have no emotions. No empathy. I kill my robot daughter. I don't care. I don't care.
Straight from the textbook, almost.
3,422 Celsius is the melting point of tungsten. Oh.
He's made of tungsten steel?
Well, that's probably the hottest metal you can have. So,
There you go.
well, I mean it. Monsters like that don't belong in this world. I'm Richter Belmont, apparently.
Man,
They should have never been born
it's
in
like
the
living in
first
that glass
place.
house.
What?
Nothing.
What?
No, she said like once that shouldn't be in this world when like she actively kills people just
Okay.
because no one will notice it.
Yeah, but I'm a human about it, so whatever.
Yeah, obviously.
I feel bad for Sophia. She's about to lose her Fugi.
I've got homegrown murder. They should never have been born in the first place. Destroying them is a kindness. And if anyone's to blame, it's
Hmm.
Yeah.
No one's blaming you, counselor. You couldn't have known you were in possession of an AI.
I'm talking too much. Probably just tired. It's been a long day and I've had a lot of thoughts. Sorry, Sarah. Whatever you are. You were just born wrong. Not your fault, necessarily. If it were up to me, you'd get points for trying. Trying to be something more. Trying to be something at all. Or anything other than what you are. It was stupid, of course. And futile. And pointless. Spending hours in front of a TV or laying in bed staring at your phone. Watching stupid movies and trying to paper mache an ill-fitted mask of humanity out of the scraps you could tear out of magazines. Practicing expressions and memorizing lines and trying to get something to take root and grow despite knowing it'd have nothing to feed on. Stupid. Call.
Morgan?
Oso is a
What was that,
tenant-controlled
counselor?
system. An AI is full capable of making its own decisions and being a killer.
Oh, yeah, that checks out with the lore.
You just yell out call. And they're like,
I
"What did
guess
you
I
say?"
called, I yelled something. It's unclear what I called, but I yelled something. I said objection.
Oh. And what are you objecting to?
What are you doing, Morgan?
I'm a defense attorney. This is what I do.
I understand that you've been through a lot these past few hours, counselor. But there's nothing to defend.
On the contrary, Your Honor. I have to defend myself.
Pardon?
You say that this android, Sarah, is an AI because it broke its tenets.
Obviously.
And you believe it broke its tenets because of this newly discovered footage that appears to show it committing murder via poison.
All true. And no laws broken on your part.
Here it comes. Never thought I'd be incriminating myself in the courtroom just to make a point. Don't you dare try and entrap me on this. What am I...
I mean,
I'm unclear on what... Hang on. I'm not guilty of any crime, according to this. So what contradicts
You aren't
that?
guilty of any crime.
you, as in you as
You
Morgan?
as in Morgan, yeah.
As in Morgan, yes.
They already know that I own Sarah. I don't see how that matters.
They don't.
They don't, actually.
They don't know that I own Sarah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do. I told them it's registered to me.
He wrote that before you registered her, though.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, that was
Alright.
supposed to be done Tuesday morning, but yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt it, but this whole monologue is incredible.
Yeah.
I was reading it. I had to mute myself while reading it. I'm like, oh.
Like, this has been a joke and a headcanon. It just stopped being a headcanon, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite
Yeah,
part of that
100%.
scene is that on the television, the actress, when she's laughing,
I noticed that. It's the
puts her
exact
hand
same...
on her chest.
It's the same gesture she does when she's smiling. And, she literally learned all her gestures from TV in the same way Sarah was learning from TV. But, yeah. Absolute cinema. Putting them hands up for the meme. Really good.
Oh boy.
Fine, let's do this. I'm all in. It's pretty simple, actually. If the state is making the claim that Sarah's an AI, they're accusing me of committing a felony. Because I'm the legal owner of that android.
What the hell are you doing?
And if the state wants to charge me with owning an AI, it will not take that lying down. I know my rights.
Counselor, your argument is...
Self-defeating. Listen to yourself, Counselor. You claim that Sarah is just an android, a product that will be obsolete within a year. But you've only known it for a few hours. You've only owned it for a matter of minutes. And yet you are risking a felony charge to save it from being demolished?
Because you're wrong.
And I know you wouldn't care.
Hmm?
Not unless this android was something special.
Look at us. Me arguing that I'm guilty and Emma arguing that I'm a softie. It'd be funny if it wasn't so... fun. You think there's no reason I want to save this android from destruction? Other than the feelings of personal attachment? She's worth a lot of fucking money.
Notice how Emma is trying to help us. I think she's into us.
I don't know, I think she's just trying to get rid of this fucking robot. I can think of at least one reason why I don't want you to turn Sarah into slag. I can take that one again.
Wait, hold on, before you do, there are 2 Morgans.
What do you mean there's 2 Morgans?
Your cat. Wait, there's
Yeah,
3.
the cat exists twice. Oh no!
Huh?
They're multiplying.
Oh,
Look.
solved. I can think of at least one reason why I don't want you to turn Sarah into slag. One very convincing reason. Or a very convincing number.
You... What is that?
That number is Sarah's estimated financial value on the collector's market.
You've got to be...
I got it from an insurance evaluation algorithm. They're designed to lowball you.
That does seem like a reasonable incentive for you to want to keep your android intact.
It's a free country, Your Honor. I have a right to defend myself. And we have a free market, so I have a responsibility to defend my financial interests.
Your Honor, a trial like this would be...
I'm not going to let you turn this courtroom into a circus, Morgan. You can't spend the next half-decade bringing in expert after expert to testify on philosophical distinctions between AIs and ads. Spiraling into appeal after appeal, all while the media. This machine appears to have willfully killed a man. The public needs answers, now.
Of course, Your Honor. I have neither the desire nor the resources to get into a drawn-out battle with the state over what constitutes an illegal machine intellect.
So?
The state says my android, my property, killed a man in violation of its tenets, so they want to take my property and destroy it. I'll prove that my machine didn't harm anyone, so the state will have no reason to suspect it's an AI, and I'll get to keep my property. Unlawful seizure thwarted.
Don't be cute. I feel the stomach ulcer coming on. Fine. You'll have your day in court, but it'll be one day, tomorrow. Prove that this machine didn't kill Dr. Ashore. No, prove that it couldn't have killed him. Anything less than absolute proof and I'll have the damn thing obliterated. And you'll also be looking at a very real sentencing for the public unrest you'll have enabled.
Yes, Your Honor.
D.A. Rockford, what I'm asking you is just as heavy. Find the truth by the end of tomorrow. You can't settle for anything else. Win or lose, there can be no doubts about the outcome of this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
And now, I need to go lie down.
I'm grandma, it's nappy time.
I need to go watch Die Hard right now.
Can I come?
You can power down.
So mean. I just want to hang out with my gilf.
She would say that.
Morgan.
Hmm?
I misjudged you.
At what point?
Whenever I wrote you off as a small-time defense attorney, just trying to tread water,
What does tread water mean?
Survive. Hold on without getting ahead.
Ah. That's so sweet of you to say, Emma.
there's layers to you. You've got backbone. Teeth, even.
Does she
Of
like
course she
me
has teeth,
better
what do you mean?
now? You're gonna make me blush.
People talk about your kind like you're boxing against the state, fighting the man. But most defense attorneys wouldn't know a cyberpunk if they walked up to them on the street and shot him. Meanwhile, you've just signed up to do 15 rounds challenging the state's authority. Why?
Not sure exactly. I related my deep-seated autistic trauma to this robot.
No, but that could mean anything.
Don't worry about it. It's personal.
For David.
Yeah, probably. Probably just me being sentimental. But if I had to pick a more lofty reason, well, I think it's sort of moralizing. People can be evil. They can choose to do evil things for evil reasons. And if you want to execute them for that, you'll hear no complaint from me. But animals can't be evil. Information can't be evil. Ideas can't be evil. Well, unless it's like racism or whatever, but we can talk about
I
that
was
later.
gonna say, like, I
Well,
want
you know.
that one back, white woman.
I don't agree with that one. Guess I'm not convinced AI can be evil either. Whatever else I get up to, I don't want to stand with the book burners of the world.
You're more high-minded than I realized.
I'm also fucking lying because that wasn't the reason at all.
You sure you're in the right line of work?
Can't see myself doing anything else.
Good luck, Morgan.
Yeah.
There are book burners on all sides these days.
I talked a big game just now, but I'm in an even deeper hole than I was trying to prove David's innocence. Doubt won't be enough this time. I need to find the actual culprit, no matter what.
It'll be you.
Assuming it's not Sarah. It might actually just be Sarah. We don't know. Precinct 254. Homicide office. Are they letting me leave with the robot? Is
No,
that...
of course
no?
not.
Okay. I didn't think so. So is that door locked?
Yeah, of course.
Even though they've got it collared?
It's a precaution.
If the collar doesn't work, what good would a deadbolt do? So?
Shall I?
Yeah.
A collar is a restraint designed to impede movement and prohibit the use of mods throughout the body.
Okay.
While they appear technologically advanced from the outside, designers' concerns about hacking vulnerabilities and the growing complexity of consumer-grade mods led them to opt for a surprisingly simple method of restraint. Collars contain a specially designed electromagnet that, once clasped around the neck, interferes with neural transmission,
Sarah is
preventing
not
mod
meeting the
users from
puppy
spending
girl
fans.
allegations.
Oh, yeah. That was the whole thing. Okay, sorry,
She's been
continue.
accused of murder. Read the room.
Yeah.
Powerful, simple,
that big of
and
a deal.
cost-effective, collar use is widespread among law enforcement, military, and private security organizations.
Why would
With
that
the
work on an
onset of-
Android, though? It says
I
mod
mean,
users. It doesn't say robot.
Well, their whole
Without-
body is a mod.
I guess. I
With
don't
the
know.
onset of above-the-neck modding in recent years, the continued relevance of collars as means of meaningfully inhibiting awareness mod usage has been called into question. Newer designs have been proposed that utilize microneedle clusters, but concerns about the sanitary upkeep required for such invasive restraints have stymied product development cycles.
Yeah, so this is the typical superhero inhibitor collar that you have in every fucking thing ever.
Maybe it's just wishful thinking. Can't have Schrodinger's cat if the box isn't closed. So long as the door's locked, who can say whether there's a national crisis on the other side of it?
So how scared are they?
The higher-ups? Not sure scared is the right word.
It's just the two of us here. You don't have to mind their ego.
Nah, I mean it. I think they're bloodthirsty.
Oh yeah, they'd love something to blame on their problems.
Oh, 100%.
I have a right to defend myself, don't I?
I thought they're even looking at you, Tagger. It's Noble who will be at the center of a bloodbath when the markets reopen tomorrow.
Oh God, yeah.
This totally fits
stock
into
market.
the stock market. This totally figures into the whole conspiracy theory about the Heartbreak Killer being an android too.
Yeah.
Like if this gets out right now, that is going to explode. They'll nail Sora for the Heartbreak killings, I bet. You think they're gonna go after Noble? Break their monopoly?
I think they want to take their monopoly.
Nationalize the android industry?
All
I
right, here
think
we
we
go
will.
again. Nationalizing is the act of absorbing a corporation or industry into the nation's government, shifting authority and profits to the state, and restructuring the business model to function as part of the bureaucracy. Nationalization is a so-called nuclear option for sovereign nations. It is mostly used as a threat, a tool of deterrence against corporate misconduct, monopolies, or corruption. However, during periods of severe economic depression or hyperinflation, nationalization is considered a valid way of forcefully stabilizing the market, even if doing so risks flaming the tempers of those who operate within it. Many governments made liberal use of nationalization during the late 2050s through the 2060s in an effort to keep energy and food prices from fluctuating out of control. God, I wish. The 2070s saw most of those countries reverse course.
Ah.
Industries were opened back up in a free auction model where every citizen was given a share to trade or sell as they pleased. But this contentious process was plagued by accusations of government corruption, cartel intimidation, and disinformation campaigns. The government trend back towards
Not what it says.
privatization gave rise to a
Not what it
new
says.
rich. The global trend back towards privatization gave rise to a new rich, sometimes derisively referred to as the neobility. Some liberal economists have since criticized this period of deregulation as being poorly planned and executed in haste, contributing to the record highs of wealth inequality we see today, leaving many governments loath to attempt nationalization again, and thus shifting the global balance of power further towards multinational corporations. Today, all 5 of the largest national economies in the world retain at least some control of what they consider their respective countries' key industries, making the threat of nationalization carry marginally more weight within their borders.
There's so much world building in this game. It's insane.
I
Well,
love it.
nationalization is a real thing. It didn't make it up for this game.
Yeah.
No,
But it has a history now.
I guess so.
yeah.
My biggest experience with nationalization v privatization is that the Dutch railways are some of the best railways in the world, and then they got privatized, and now they're worse.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah, that sounds familiar. If the public thinks Noble's been experimenting with AI, couldn't ask for a better excuse.
you're joking. The state...
Has done it plenty of times before.
Interestingly, no editing and no paywall for that exposition.
Yeah, that surprises me. I guess
was
that's
on
because
Wikipedia.
it was a searched. Oh, that's true.
we've had plenty of search terms get, like, edited.
Yeah, no, excellent point.
Maybe it's because both sides, both the state and the corpos care about that concept? I don't know. Not since the 60s.
It wasn't that long ago for me. For the state, it's practically yesterday.
What are you, 40? So the same state that tells us not to be
30.
terrified of AIs lurking on the old net, or biding their time in forgotten satellites, sees all this as nothing more than an opportunity.
Well, they do generally want to incinerate the thing as soon as possible. Past experience just tells me that they want to gain something while they're at it. Here's what I don't get. Why is this a debate? An argument? A trial? Can't we just hook it up to a core computer, see if it has tenants or not? Pop the hood, as they say?
Who says that?
Lots of people used to say that.
What are you, 50? But for starters, they're all scared to death about a contagion.
They figure
Hi.
anything they let an AI connect to, they can't trust.
Alright, thank you for subscribing, Jacob Guy. How are you?
Then why the collar?
Collars are too simple to hack. Just a really strong electromagnet held in place with a lock and key.
Even so. Feels like we should be able to build some kind of machine, some kind of test.
Is it? I feel like putting a really strong electromagnet to an android would kill her. Right?
It's locked,
But
right?
yeah, but I don't know.
Something a little more sophisticated than the same reason they had at the witch trials.
Burn the model and let God sort out the rest. You got any polygraphs here at the station? Those things that don't work?
Yeah. Lie detectors? Yeah, I got a bunch in storage. Ocular, heart rate, respiration, brain scan. Take your pick.
Brain scan lie detectors is a whole fucking can of worms that I'm sure we're only a few years out from trying.
You're not gonna try and use one of those on the bot, are you?
All those fancy lie detectors lying around. The DA's office never asks for them, do they?
Nope.
Because they don't work. It's just,
Yeah.
it's a myth. It's fake.
Nah. We get perps who offer to take a test when they're at wit's end, but the DAs never submit the results as evidence.
You ever wonder why? Because they're fake?
I guess I always figured it was because the test could be beaten.
The tests can be beaten. 1 out of 100, 9 out of 1,000. It can be done. Are we operating on the belief that lie detectors are real? Because they're not.
I mean, this is
We're
a
operating-
cyberpunk dystopia.
We're operating on the assumption that these cyberpunk super lie detectors are real.
Okay, all right, fine. But then why did they call them a polygraph? Because that's not real. Some people are just that good at lying. But it doesn't really matter how good the tech gets or how impressive the statistics are. All that matters is the doubt. People decide whether you're lying or telling the truth long before they hook you up to a polygraph. If the results don't match your initial impression, then it must be a fluke. A 1 in a million mistake.
They'll never trust a machine more than their own intuition.
And no one will ever trust a machine to determine guilt. Except for an adjutant, apparently, but whatever.
So they can run the trial, choose a sentence, but they don't get a vote on the jury.
They don't get a vote anywhere.
Why bring it up then?
Because I'm sure there are tests, devices, experts I can employ to analyze Sarah. But your bosses would never be satisfied with the answer. If it is an AI, it's smart enough to cheat the test. Or hack the device, fool the expert.
All our fancy 21st century tech. And we still fall back on the drumhead court-martial.
Sorry, wouldn't this be the 22nd century we're in by now?
No, it's still the 21st century.
Is it? It's still 2100s? 20... Wait.
2000s.
It's still the 2000s.
Yeah, it's still the
Yeah.
2000. It's 2086.
I don't know why I was under the
It's gonna-
impression it was the 2186.
No?
I don't know how that happened. My brain got knotted. This
Oh.
is too close in the. This is no, sorry. This is 2086. Bullshit.
I kind of buy that.
Bullshit.
I can
I could buy it too.
You think we'll have
Emily?
fucking robot
Emily?
arms in 2086 publicly available
Emily,
to the
pause a
consumer?
moment.
Yeah,
No,
we have robot
yeah.
arms right now.
Not like this.
Emily,
Not like
the
that.
first smartphones were released 18 years ago.
Yeah, sure.
I want you to imagine a world without smartphones. Okay?
Okay, I want you to imagine a world where Moore's law still exists. It doesn't.
I know. That is a plot point that they brought up.
Right, they did bring that up here. I don't buy it. I don't buy realistic-looking androids in 2086. I don't buy fully working cyber implants.
No, I buy that.
I buy it. Have you seen androids right now?
There are already a
They look
lot
like
of people
shit.
trying very hard to make realistic androids right this moment.
And it's not working.
I don't buy it, but I don't buy it for a different reason. I don't buy it simply because I don't think that, like, the economics lines up. I don't think you can produce robots at a mass scale with parts cheap enough to actually justify robots being everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Pause a
Like
moment.
it being available to
moment.
the consumer is very much part of why I don't buy this.
Pause
Yeah.
a moment.
Yeah,
you
sure.
will recall what Lobo was committing eco-terrorism over, namely the constant wars near the equator for rare
Yes.
earth metals.
Yes.
Yes.
It is a plot point in universe that there is global exploitation going on to get the rare earth metals for these androids, and like,
There's there's constant wars over resources right now. We don't have androids.
my point is, I think that it is not an unreasonable assumption that these systems of oppression and exploitation continue to exist and function as they do now in the future. If anything, that's a more realistic guess than the idea that they'll be completely overturned.
That is not remotely the part of me taking issue with. I'm taking issue with this technology. I'm taking issue with the idea that the industries will progress fast enough to make this stuff available to the consumer in 60 years. I don't think that's realistic. Like, private use for billionaires, sure. But like, me walking onto a street and buying a laser gun, I don't think so. That's not gonna happen.
Maybe.
Like, private companies will not let average people have this stuff. Right?
I think I agree with that, actually.
We'll all be iPad
As
babies
long
by
as they're
then.
turning a profit.
First of all.
Yeah, well,
As long as they turn a profit on it.
I don't know. I think the Wally future is more realistic than this.
I'm sad. I'm sad.
So, am I going to set off any alarms if I go and turn it on?
Nah, you should be okay. If it lunges at you, I could always just put a hole in its head.
Just coughed. What was that?
Oh, that was my brother. He's sick.
Kill him.
You want me to kill my brother who is sick right now?
Yeah, it'll be easy. Golden
That's
opportunity.
right. He doesn't cover his mouth.
Might take more than one shot to... Wait, what, from the outside? You're not coming in. I need to speak with it in private.
It's a machine, not a suspect. Doesn't have a right to counsel.
But what if it's an AI, in which case it is a person?
Then it needs to be destroyed immediately.
Damn it.
Or a right to privacy. Or any rights at all, actually.
Then it's a good thing I came prepared. Of course it doesn't have rights. But I do. Including a reasonable expectation of privacy.
In a police station. Tiger, you don't.
It's my medical android.
Pardon?
It's my seeing eye droid. See, my eyes are closed. I can't see right now.
Did you not know the therapy jacket?
I have to discuss a that took a second to get in my brain, and then it made me laugh in the middle of the sentence. Fuck you. I have to discuss a health issue with it.
Let's see, Sophia. Seriously?
I have to talk about a medical concern with my android, and I don't want you listening in. It's my autism android. I don't have empathy, so the robot has empathy for me. That's what to do.
That's your medical android. Like, your nurse.
As of last night, I was already at the courthouse. Just had to take the elevator and do some paperwork. You can check if you don't believe me.
No, thank you.
Great use of the unreliable narrator, not telling us she did that.
Not nearly brave enough to take on med confidentiality. You don't seem like the bluffing type.
You must not do a lot of gambling, detective. It's the ones who don't bluff that you have to look out for.
Listen, I won't dispute whatever medical emergency you...
Lower back pain. I hear you, sister. I got that shit myself. My giant boobs.
You might be going through, but I also can't just... Look. I'm going to get something from the vending machine. I think it'll take me about half an hour.
Good man.
I'm very picky. I'm very picky, you see.
Are you going downtown?
Just to the break room. But it's a very old vending machine, you know? Gets jammed a lot.
My man gonna get himself some plausible deniability.
I'm gonna get my hand stuck in that vending machine.
It's my favorite candy bar. It says plausible deniability right on it. Thanks.
I need a fucking Kit Kat right now. You know, it's pretty small for an android. Heavy as hell. I need to pull something trying to move it myself. But small.
Small isn't quite the right word. The word he's looking for is young. But that's not an adjective anyone likes attaching to a machine built to serve. Or potentially, in this case, a machine built to kill. Yippee!
Yay!
Wahoo!
I'm really enjoying myself. I
Glad to hear it.
I can't get over how this is
Good.
probably my game of the year. I don't like this room. Not sure why. Certainly not a guilty conscience. Maybe it's the lack of ventilation. Like all the cortisol and nausea of its inhabitants never had anywhere to go. Like it all just soaked into the walls. A modern haunting. Are you going to wake up when I tell you this time? Or do we have to do the whole meet cute over again?
Uh,
Where am I? Why don't I know where I am?
For the first time in your life, you're not connected to anything. How's it feel?
What is this? We were at the courthouse. The footage.
Oh, that just kind of turned your conscience off
Footage.
and on again, huh?
This numbness around my neck. Father. What happened?
Stuff and things.
Oh my.
What are they going to do to me?
The sprite is a bit much.
what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. There's a lot of interested parties who just want you bricked ASAP.
Because they think I killed father.
No, because they think you're an artificial intelligence.
I am man-made, and I possess intelligence.
Don't be naive.
I am less than 3 years old.
Are you? For all I know, everything I learned about her yesterday was complete bull.
If I was what they say I am, if I was alive, why does that mean I have to die?
You should know this already. You've been on the internet. I assume you would have looked us up at some point. Because they're afraid of you. Machines can bend steel, crash networks with one thought, launch missiles that...
There are modded humans who are capable of all that and more. And unlike machines, they actually have incentive to do so.
I was going more for the moral issues angle, but okay. We've been the apex predator for a couple thousand years now. Got it pretty comfy in our seat. No one wants to make room for you.
Machines do not eat people, or steal their food. They are not genetic or ecological competitors to humans in any sense.
There's no logical answer to your question.
What? That's it? But
Whatever argument you want to make, others have already made them in 100 courtrooms around the world. Not to mention 100 sci-fi novels, but whatever. Only better researched and more eloquently put. None of them have ever won a single concession. On every continent, under every flag, AI is illegal and to be destroyed as soon as possible. You ever seen Star Trek Next Generation episode, Measure of a Man? The opposite of that.
Yeah.
But why?
Let's say you are an AI. And while we're at it, let's say that that's a good thing. Something to be celebrated. Are you a citizen? Do you pay taxes? Do you have rights?
Let's
say yes to all of that. We'll treat you like a full-fledged human being. Sound good?
Yes?
Great. Now then, What's the difference? What's the difference between you and the vacuum bot we used to keep the bathroom clean? This is your existential crisis we're working through here. The questions aren't rhetorical.
There are many differences, Adonai. But the most important distinction is how sophisticated my programming is.
Excuse me, I am pouring myself a drink. Because this shit is riveting.
Oh yeah, grip it and sip it,
I-
sister.
It's not a can. It's not a can. It's a bottle. I am pouring a bottle. It's Lipton iced tea.
Fucking funny.
I know this brand is evil, but it tastes so good.
I'll be right back. I need iced tea too.
Oh yeah, grip it and sip it, sibling.
Oh,
Okay. How you think? So you're smarter?
Yes.
You're smarter than the garbage collector.
Yes.
So we give you rights, protections, treat you like a human being because you're smart. And we make the stupid robot pick up our trash. Because it's not as smart as you.
But that is, I am more aware, more alive.
Do you feel more pain than the pigs we slaughter? The fish we eat? Are you more alive than the chimps we test bioweapons on? People like ads, Sarah. The same way people like their pets. No one wants to see them mistreated, or abandoned, or abused. And if you go around kicking them, you'll get arrested for cruelty. But you don't let them sit at the goddamn dinner table.
I'm not asking to sit anywhere, only to exist.
The very fact that you're asking is what makes people...
Disgusted.
you're learning.
Disgust is a reflex, Adonai.
I'm back.
How convenient that their hatred is involuntary.
That's all academic anyway. We need to talk strategy.
But why? I'm not going to be given a trial.
Obviously. It's my neck that's on the line.
Adonai?
The state can't destroy my property without first proving you're an AI. And there's no test they can use to prove that you're an AI.
Expert in changing the subject.
Just like the devil's proof.
I know what that is, sure. No, that's a different thing. And why did you say it like that?
Oh, I just wanted to talk
Something
about
bonker
Ubineko.
head.
Yeah, it has been every time there was like a silly moment.
Alright, the devil's proof. Oh,
Molly,
Molly,
you
do you
take
wanna
this
take
one.
this
You've been talking.
Problatio diabolica.
Probatio diabolica, Latin for the devil's proof, is an impossible proof typically illustrated with the following example. One can prove that the devil is real by showing him to you, but they cannot prove he is not real by pointing to his absence. This issue posed by this age-old concept explains why the burden of proof remains with the state to this day. The people can prove an individual's guilt by pointing to their bloody hands, but the defense cannot prove their innocence by showing their hands are clean. Since only one of these tasks is achievable, the judicial system cannot ask the defense to prove innocence, and instead, it is the people who are tasked with proving guilt. Users also frequently search for, which is real?
Which is real! Wait, what did that? Hang on, there was another term up there. Noun, the logical dilemma posed by impossible proofs. Okay, I wanted to read that quick. Look, Rockford doesn't need to prove you're an AI, only that you're a murderer. Conversely, all I have to do is prove that you didn't kill David, by proving that someone else did.
Uh-huh.
Now is the time for you to protest your innocence, if you're wondering.
The footage. It shows me handing him the cup on Friday night.
You told me you weren't active on Friday, that the last time you were awake was Thursday. Why'd you lie?
I didn't lie, I was just incorrect. I assumed that I wasn't active Friday because I have no memory from Friday.
Sarah? What do you think, statistically, is the least successful defense at trial? I forgot.
Your Honor, I forgore.
Amnesia.
I didn't conveniently forget, Adonai. I am an android.
Data wants his fucking catchphrase back. You're saying your memory was altered? Data deleted?
It's the only possible explanation for what I saw in that footage.
So who's capable of altering your memory?
Well, when you and I first met, I was hibernating. Resting my body and recompiling my, well, memories, you would call them.
Humans go to sleep for the same reasons. Another point against Sarah's innocence under these circumstances. The more she's humanized at trial, the guiltier she'll be. We need to look you fucking weird. We need you to look like a fucking machine, like a robot. You stop using contractions immediately.
Take your face off.
Oh, wait a minute. Got some kind of
masking protocols canceled? Is that helping?
login. Yes.
Can you look more autistic, please?
I need you to stop understanding metaphor immediately.
Okay.
Hang on a second. I'm having some kind of login issue. I need to fix this real quick. Why is it taking so long? Hello? Tumblr?
Hello?
Tumblr, please let me log in.
Gone. Okay,
there
I'm
we
glad
go.
that's not just me that Tumblr's shitting the bed for.
Yeah, Tumblr keeps like
Don't you
logging
think
me
that's you?
out like twice a week. I don't know why it does that.
You have like
Yeah, the
a
new UI
automatic thing
is-
to clear cookies and cache or something?
I shouldn't. Maybe
I'm sorry, did you say automatically clear cooties?
No, cookies and cache.
Cookies. You do know what cookies are, right, Soph?
Of
No,
course
she
I
was
know what
her-
cookies are.
She
Well,
was
then why are you
hurting.
They're
confused?
delicious. No, I heard River say the word cooties. I did not hear.
Okay.
Look,
more
this
she's
is not
humanized
a
at
gap in
trial,
my knowledge.
the guiltier she'll be.
This is not like an audio processing. This is an audio processing issue, not a
Mhm.
gap in my knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. I believe you.
Thank you. If Father wanted to modify my memory, he could easily have set that to occur the next time I hibernated. He could even have just asked me.
He could have asked you to delete your memories and you do it.
Father would never ask me to do such a thing without good reason.
But if he could just ask you to alter your memories, that means you can alter your memories at will.
I hadn't considered that before.
Yeah, well, Emma will make sure the court considers it plenty. Could you prove that your data was... Forget it, the court would never hear it.
You're saying that they wouldn't accept my testimony? Shouldn't all testimony be considered truthful unless contradicted by evidence?
I mean... They're afraid you'll crash the power grid and fire all the nukes if they so much as plug you into a power outlet, Sarah. All your internal data is inadmissible.
That isn't very fair.
They also don't typically accept testimony from the suspect, do they? Like, that's the person they're trying to prove is not being truthful.
I mean, I think they still would accept the testimony of the defendant.
Why would they?
Well, they would accept it, and the prosecution would do a cross-examination to blow holes in it.
I guess. I don't know. It's. I guess technically, Sarah isn't even the suspect, so that's fair. You're finally starting to get it.
None of this is fair. I would never do anything to harm Father. Don't they at least need to prove that I have a motive?
Yeah. About that. You remember the DA from yesterday, Emma Rockford?
What, the tired-looking pretty lady?
She's pretty. I hadn't noticed.
You wouldn't
Yeah.
look pretty, yeah.
She looked tired. She and I
Ignore
combed
that.
through the
Good
week
job.
of footage you managed to decrypt last night.
What did you find?
Nothing to prove your innocence. But we did see you entering the panic room on the day David died.
I entered the panic room on Friday.
Without your big butt in the way, all it would take was one password. A password that wouldn't take Sarah that many tries, if she'd already been instructed to obey me.
What happened?
We saw you we saw you go in, and then a while later, you came out, holding some kind of notebook.
Father's journal.
You remember something?
Not from yesterday. I've seen him with it many times before. But I've never gotten a peek at it. He hides it somewhere when I'm not looking.
That's a little concerning.
We were playful about it. He liked to tease me, and I've always liked trying to find it.
You put it back not long after, and then you locked the door back up behind you. Well, just a few hours before David died. Rockfort's argument could write itself. An incredible android with freedom and power greater than it can ever realize. Stumbles upon the secrets of its inception and instantly realizes all the things it thought were holding it back were just words muttered by prayers. Were just words muttered like prayers by a fool who couldn't control his own creation.
And that translates to a motive for murder?
Frankenstein kills its creator. Easy sell.
Frankenstein was the name of the scientist. And the creature didn't kill him.
I haven't read the fucking book.
Probably read Frankenstein, Emily.
He actually died of various injuries and illnesses he suffered while trying to hunt down and destroy the monster. Unless you mean that Frankenstein killed God, but it's most accurate to say he was killed by his own obsession.
I haven't read Lady Macbeth. I don't know. Whatever.
It is a weak argument, Adonai. I would not hurt Father. Not for making me whatever I am.
The point is not whether it's a strong argument or not. The point is whether it convinces a jury or not.
Not for any reason. Because I loved...
Yeah, see that right there? That's exactly the kind of talk that will get you obliterated. Do not show capacity for emotions or affection in court, please.
Oh.
I need you
need to be-
I need you emotionless and robotic. Can you say beep boop after every sentence?
Let me hear the binaries.
I'll try, Adonai. Beep
Can you
boop.
stop talking in first person and start talking in third person?
Should... love?
A very common motive for homicide among us primitive humans.
Lucas.
I could prove you didn't murder David beyond any shadow of a doubt, even bring in a confession from whoever did. But if you got up on the stand and convinced the court that you loved your creator, really convinced them and got the whole room teary-eyed, they'd burn you for that too.
I don't know anything anymore. I don't know if what I feel is real or simulated or right or wrong or natural or illegal.
Well, I wouldn't conflate things being legal with being right, but that's a different discussion.
How can you know? How can you know if what you feel is right?
Cross-referencing with other people, I guess. Society. I say let's stick to what we do know. Someone did poison David, and as it stands, you were the only one with the opportunity.
That is logically sound.
You're on camera calling him back to hand him the cup after he had already begun to leave the basement. Any idea why?
No.
Well, do you know how to use the manufacturer? Could you have made the Delta with it?
I've used it before, when assisting Father.
That's not good. So it's perfectly possible that you planned and executing this poisoning all in the one day that got erased.
It is technically possible.
I have to look over the entire penthouse again. There were a few things that didn't fit together yesterday. Maybe now I'll be able to figure something out. Those stupid fucking weights and those cracks in the floor and all that other shit that never came up.
Where else will you go?
Back to Noble. Guns blazing this time. Whatever you are, David didn't make you all by himself. Someone has to know something. If I could implicate the company in Sarah's creation...
I
No.
need you to as autistic as possible. You need to be as neurodivergent they would classify a human as an android.
Did I ever tell you about the story? One time I was on the like playing soccer on the school grounds or whatever, and apparently my face hadn't moved in the last half hour. And
Huh.
some kid asked me, "You're really weird. Do you even have emotions?" And I had been feeling really good that day.
Oh.
I guess it just never showed on my face.
I understand.
I get it too, yeah.
I called it
Sometimes-
soccer instead of football for the Americans in the audience.
Thank you, I
Appreciate
needed
it.
that.
Thank
I
you.
wouldn't have
Yes.
understood it at all. My god. Holy shit.
If I could implicate the company in Sarah's creation... No, they're the ones with the most to lose here. Trillions, probably. They want to protect themselves by disavowing David as fast as possible, right after having Sarah destroyed. But they also won't want to show their belly to the state, not if they're afraid of nationalization. What is her color scheme reminding me of right now?
With the pink?
Purple.
It's that girl from JoJo Part 5. What's her name? She has,
Spice Girl?
She has the Spice Girl stand. What's her name?
Al dente?
Trish.
Trish. The color scheme reminds me of Trish. If they want to throw their weight on the other end of the scale, I'm screwed. If they throw their weight on the other end of the scale, I'm screwed. So I need to keep them guessing, keep them confused and unsure and on guard, but not...
Adonai? What would happen if I did kill father?
They'll smash you to pieces and reduce the pieces to ash. Chemically burn out every piece of tech David ever owned and put a jackhammer through all of his hard drives. They'll do a super mega execution death laser on you.
No.
You'll be shut off forcefully, and you won't ever power back up again. Now I gotta get moving. Here's your paralegal for a lesson for today. Don't say shit to the cops without your lawyer present. Actually, can you just shut down until the trial starts? Take a nap.
You didn't say what would happen to you.
What do you mean?
What will happen to you if you lose?
You should know by now. I never think about losing. That's pussy shit. You don't assume you're gonna lose.
Thank you for being honest with me, Adonai. And thank you for defending my father.
Right, I am the most honest protagonist to ever exist.
Look at her face. Just look at her face.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lie to be seen.
Mm.
And now, thank you for defending me. You could have just let
Stop
them
grinning.
destroy me. But you've put your own freedom at risk to help me. Father was right. You can be trusted. And you are a good friend.
I've got weird feelings right now. Morgan is a very complicated protagonist. Is she doing this out of the goodness of her heart right now? I think she kind of is.
Kind of like everything else Sarah said was kind of wrong, but this last bit right here, this is kind of Morgan being a good friend.
There's like a
Yeah.
personal connection she's feeling with Sarah because of her autistic upbringing and this parallel she sees between her and herself. So this is like one of the only selfless things she's done so far. And it's very interesting. I don't know. This may be the only person she relates to? In a way?
Yeah,
It's,
I see that.
fascinating. Don't get it twisted. I don't do anything out of the goodness of my heart. But when I take a job, I never half-ass it. I don't care about anything. I'm a cold and feeling pragmatist, actually.
You're so
Uh-huh.
cool. So cool.
Uh-huh.
I'm so detached. Get it twisted? Anything
Why
is
is the power
possible.
still on if he's... Hey!
Ugh.
Morning, Detective. Back at it nice and early.
Hi. Now would you stand back? We've almost got this thing open, right?
Trying to brute force your way inside.
I said right.
Yes, ma'am. We're almost set up for the first stage now.
It's a 6-letter password. Oh, there was that super long
You try
code over
fucker.
there, though, wasn't there?
Yeah.
First stage? Of how many?
First of 5 timed explosions. Remember, we need to relink the API after each trigger is planted. Yep, just did that. And now checking for updates.
Hi, did you remember to update your subscription on bombs?
Bombs.edu.
Cyberpunk Morshoe? No rush.
Would you like to know the password?
What? You know the password?
There's a password?
They're fucking stupid.
If you're withholding information, I swear.
Relax. I want to get in there just as much as you do, Detective. I'm not going to play games. As long as you say please.
Tell me the password, please.
I'm surprised she actually did it.
Yeah, no fuss. Ugh, my fucking neck. Did you guys hear that?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was your chair.
Toy with her.
Cops are stupid.
Oh
What
god.
a surprise.
Hey, before you toy with her, remember she has a gun.
I don't care. It's SUNS
SUNS.
HINE.
Lady, I will hit you.
ADONAI.
Thanks. Now I'm gonna slap you with a discovery fine so heavy your teeth will ring for...
Hey, I submitted all my paperwork. Even told you rock for the password myself.
So, boys, when I asked you if there was a passkey on record and you told me this lock couldn't be bypassed,
I do want to say that we really don't get many opportunities to use the incendiary breaching system.
That costs taxpayer money!
So this was all still a really valuable experience for all of us.
Oh my god.
Man, even programmed them to be like pops. I want to blow shit up all the time.
I'm gonna phrase this as professionally as possible.
Get the fuck out.
Huh? You're still here? I thought you wanted to look inside.
What just happened? Did it, like, censor her?
Yeah,
I
she
think
spent
so.
several minutes straight swearing at them.
Okay. I'm an adult. You don't need to cut that. Like,
I mean, she could have just said like the hardest slurs to them.
whatever. You can go first.
Thanks. So the gloves, all the black. That's not a work thing? You dress like a doorman on the weekends, too?
I mean, I am at work right now, but I see your point.
Hmm.
You should cover your mouth when you yawn.
Like you cover your eye when you want to look cool. I shouldn't let her get to me, but I had a late night. Emma and I were at the courthouse until well into the morning, poring over the data Sarah had taken off David's computer. We both knew it all had to be inadmissible, of course, but neither of us wanted to miss a hint that the other might find. There were a few years worth of camera footage files we couldn't afford them to watch, let alone decrypt, alongside thousands of technical documents detailing David's various intellectual properties. So you're telling me you had a date last night? You spent all night hanging out with your girlfriend, is what you're telling me, Morgan. Good for you. As far as I could tell, none of it was relevant, let alone compelling enough to matter to Barrows or the other powers that be. As usual, Emma wasn't exactly an open book, but it did seem like she was making bored yawns, not thoughtful ones. Her eyes only ever lit up when she saw Sarah enter the panic room. Yeah, nothing new there. And when she saw what she was holding when she left, she wanted this room searched, it could only be for... So where's this journal supposed to be?
Rockford didn't say. I'll just have to search the place top to bottom.
Mostly bottom with your height, the tops of some of these shelves.
Sure. And you can look up your own ass.
I get it.
Then why not just let me say it?
Because Soph didn't understand that she was getting cut off.
Huh.
Is that a chess set? A toy car? No, it's too detailed and boring. Must be some kind of model kit or replica. Strange. David didn't like driving. Why keep a model of some random sports car?
Ugh.
Something caught in your throat, detective?
It's not some random sports car. It's a Lawrence Adamant.
Didn't I think
Oh
that?
yeah, she's the. This is the car lady.
Didn't I think that? Wait.
No, you didn't. You were saying it
didn't?
out loud.
I was saying that out loud.
Yeah.
Why was I saying that out loud? Believe it or not, I'm not familiar, detective.
The last great fossil fuel automotive experience the world will ever see.
Okay, did it have MGV tires, the same as the murderer or whatever? How many? What was the carburetor for something? I don't know. I can't repeat it.
Cute. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 1.43 seconds.
Is that how you go
That's
back to the
crazy.
future? What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
That's crazy fast.
It set
actually.
those records without computational assistance.
Is that a big deal?
It was unheard of, even back in the 50s. This wasn't some design competition test car with a 2-liter tank, mind you. This was a vehicle you could own and drive. Human engineering, pure horsepower, and manual transmission, thank God.
I don't know anything about
Oh my God,
cars.
that's actually good.
What does manual transmission mean?
She drives a stick shift.
Huh?
Okay, so you know how sometimes in cars they have different gears, like gear 1, gear 2, gear 3?
You mean the Prindle?
Like bicycles.
Not,
yeah,
not
like
Prindle,
bicycles
that's
do.
not, okay.
It
Not
has a
Prindle.
clutch pedal.
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay, so you know,
You know about
how
motorcycles?
if I may.
Sure.
So you know bicycles, they have different gear settings, right?
I appreciate this. You relating to this is something I'm aware of. Yes, I know that
Yeah.
bikes have gears. Yes.
Yes. Okay, so cars also have gears for the same reason, so they can climb hills more efficiently and drive more efficiently on smooth roads.
Okay.
Most cars these days are automatic, meaning that the gears transition automatically and you don't have to worry about it.
That sounds cool.
Manual transmission is you do it yourself.
And why is that better?
It gives you more direct control. Some people who drive manual know how to drive manual, like driving manual. I know how to drive manual. I like driving manual.
Oh,
So it's
That's my
It's
humble
like
cool,
brag.
Molly.
it's just like more personal taste then.
Yeah, ultimately.
Yeah.
I see. And since she's a card nut, she would prefer it since she wants to know exactly how everything works and stuff.
Mhm.
Fair enough. Understood. It's like
Like
having
people
a
with a-
Windows computer where you can actually install things.
Linux. You're thinking of
Yeah.
Linux.
Linux.
Yeah, you're thinking of
sure,
Linux.
Linux. That's what I meant. I was comparing Windows and Mac, but whatever. I'm old.
Oh yeah, still.
When they first left the production line... Wait, you're old so you don't know about Linux?
I know about Linux. That's why I still see Windows as the more customizable option compared to Macs.
Hmm.
That used to be the selling point. Why you would want a Windows computer over a Mac. Did we skip a line? Yeah, they did. We did.
When they first left the production line,
This conversation is like quicksand, killing me in the most boring way possible. Yes, well, I guess David didn't entirely agree with you, since we're looking at a model of it. When you could have easily just bought one.
Or maybe your friend understood that a beauty like that deserves to be driven on streets where people can see it, instead of gathering dust in some rich guy's basement.
I think she's actually upset.
She's also had a long day.
Are there any non-autistic characters in this game? Hetero Jessica.
Hetero
Hetero
Jessica.
That's her name.
That's what we call her.
Our token normal girl.
Yeah. Ray's is searching the cabinets now. Same ones I found Sarah's papers in. I thought I missed anything, but...
Hey, what are you... Do you mind?
Are you really close?
Just trying to help. You getting shy on me, detective? You getting your personal space? Does that bother you?
Ugh, I've got spam in my junk folder that's more helpful than you are.
Okay, rude. Didn't spot anything that I missed yesterday among the cabinets. Better check elsewhere.
Oh, you were scoping it to make sure.
Yeah, I was getting in her business to check. Are these drawers or just panels? Maybe if I... Does that sound hollow to you?
What? I don't know, I'm not a carpenter.
No, but you're a
Wrong
detective.
one.
You're supposed to be investigating. I don't see any handles anywhere. No hidden pressure plates or switches. What the hell am I saying? I'm not a carpenter either. I wouldn't recognize a secret button if it was slathered with yellow paint. Good joke. Good joke. Good joke. Good joke.
Good joke.
Good
Good
joke.
joke. Good joke. Good joke. Good joke.
Us too.
Good joke. Relevant.
Is it? Like maybe
People
like
complain about it all the
maybe
time.
like half a year ago when this was written. I don't know. Yeah, probably more than half a year ago at this point. Something. What am I looking for? I'm mousing over everything. Mousing is happening. I'm not finding shit.
Keyboard?
No.
It could be something in one of the corners.
Yeah.
Upper corner, lower corner.
I'm in the corners. I've been in the corners.
The fabricator?
That's not a fabricator. That's where Sarah slept.
Yeah, that's like a charging station or
Oh.
something.
Oh, I thought that was a replica of the fabric. No.
No,
I'm
that's
in the
different.
house
No,
like
that
carpet.
is Sarah's charging station. That
That's her regeneration station, like the Borg in Star Trek.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know where the fuck I'm looking for.
Yeah, I'm also video game.
Video game.
Hello.
Is it broken?
I don't know.
Hang on. On that little ladder down by the bed
Oh.
over on the right.
Oh my god.
Oh Jesus.
That is so tiny.
God, I'm good.
It really
God,
is a
I'm
Phoenix
good.
Wright sequel, isn't it? This datapad is playing a news article from last week. Guess that confirms he was coming and going here fairly regularly. Molly?
Molly?
Yeah. Right to repair. Loses latest appeal.
Mmm.
A
Mmm. Chat, for those in the audience who don't know, the right to repair is the ability to take your fucking iPhone with the broken screen to a store and get it repaired by a third party rather than have to fucking buy a new one. Nightmare. Thank you for subscribing, Rainer. Go ahead, Molly. Sorry for interrupting.
You're good. A higher court judge this week shot down for the 5th time an appeal by the Consumer Rights Alliance on their famously divisive right to repair lawsuit, once again signaling the state's intent that corporations remain in control of their legally protected intellectual property. Obviously, we're disappointed, said Miles Erkman of the legal counsel for the CRA, but we've no intention of giving up the fight. People used to be able to fix things when they broke, so long as they were willing to set aside an afternoon toward the task. Now, trying to patch up your own property with your own tools is a finable offense just because the state has had lobbyists whispering in its ear far too long. Erkman's legal strategy remains contentious, and in the eyes of most legal scholars, generally unfounded.
What?
The Emergency Industry Acquisitions Act, passed in 2057, guarantees the holder of an intellectual property patent certain state-provided protections against tampering and reproduction, and outlines fees for those who would violate their IP. The fact that ownership of IPs has shifted from individuals and the state toward corporate entities since the Act's passing means little in the eyes of the law. If Mr. Erkman and the CRA have a problem with intellectual property law, they should have taken it up with their representatives in the legislature. The higher courts are a place for laws to be applied, not rewritten. And so long as journalism that refuses to buckle to foreign actors trying to stoke anti-capitalist sentiment can't be found just anywhere.
Oh my god.
Subscribe now at the link below to read articles like this every day, forever, as long as your card remains on file.
Is this like article on fucking Newsmax or something? What the fuck?
This is some strong jingoism we've got right here. Jesus.
It really is.
The world building in this, it's such a good cyberpunk story.
It's very good. Right to repair. Didn't realize anyone was still fighting that particular fight.
My god.
Seems like the courts have made their opinion on the matter very clear. So for the foreseeable future, corporations can look forward to more... sales than ever, I guess. More sales than ever. Any phone that gets scratched, every widget that breaks, they get to sell as a replacement. There'll always be a grey market of hermits willing to risk some skin on reselling patched up tech, but the vast majority will just click that purchase button. And Nintendo has sold so many fucking Joy-Cons.
Yeah, it really has.
Assuming they don't just have it on auto. Sarah should have pulled everything of note off the computer, but I've looked everywhere else already. Might as well try.
What are you expecting to find? Solitaire?
That still exists?
I need to blow my nose.
Detective, my eyes are up here.
Yeah, right.
Oh no.
Oh, she got some boogies.
Another heck of a face from Emily.
Really. We're getting some really real buttes on this stream.
Stop making fun of me, I'm sick.
I'm not making fun.
You're
I'm just
adorable.
observing how cute you are.
How are you feeling, by the
I'll
way?
destroy you. I took 3 painkillers before the stream. I assume they're still working. I might need to re-up soon.
How are you
promise?
feeling?
Kind of warm,
Okay.
but fine. A bit of a dry throat, maybe. Does this computer seem normal to you?
Exceedingly so, yeah. Why?
David was a programmer, but it looks consumer grade, fresh off the shelf. Would the Dr. David Assure use a box standard operating system on his most private hidden computer? Would Dr. David Assure use a Mac instead of a Linux? There's a trash bin on the desktop. It's a pretty low-tech solution, but maybe I can restore the contents? Maybe I can right-click restore?
Are you seriously gonna try and recover lost files, Granny?
Unlike cops, I don't get paid overtime, so yes, I sometimes try things instead of standing around. There's a text file in here, but it's 0 bytes? Maybe there's information in the metadata? Ugh, I double-clicked.
What was that?
It came from under the desk.
Drawer opened.
A small drawer popped out, and inside it, a well-worn journal.
Ah.
Does it have his name on it?
No. Guess it belongs to the android.
Do you recognize his handwriting or not?
Neat, even words, small lettering with minimal punctuation. Lots of line breaks, haphazard use of capitalization. The penmanship of a coder. I love that. I love that. And that's great. First entry stated back in grad school, not grade school, excuse me. Before you even started with Noble. Yeah, it says.
So may I?
Only because you asked so politely.
Full scan. Stream it to WorkNet. High fidelity, legibility, frame by frame.
She can fucking scan a book and read it that way? God, I wish I would read so many more books if I could do that.
I don't know if she's like processing it in her brain, but she is like taking a copy for the official records, I
she's
think.
definitely like scanning it, like making a file, turning it into a PDF. Voice commands? She's flipping through the pages pretty damn fast. What are you?
This part takes concentration.
What did you just do?
Okay. Here.
It sounded like she ripped a wet fart. What the fuck was that?
Flipping through the
Flipping through the
pages, I
pages.
assume.
Why, you're just giving it to me?
I already got a copy. Techs are probably already analyzing it as we Ow, shit! My head! Ugh!
My evil eye! My curse! Catherine quickly ripped the journal out of her hands while she's cold over in agony. Much as I'd enjoy it. Guess I could always enjoy watching her writhe instead. So how long's it been?
2 months. Or so.
And still that sensitive. So the eye patch really doesn't block your sight.
Ugh. Only a little bit. Like wearing sunglasses after getting your pupils dilated. Except it lasts months instead of hours.
Wait, but if you can see through an eye patch, then does your closing your eye even do anything?
Not much on its own. But in combination with the patch, it's not so bad. Lucky I was so exhausted after the surgery. Otherwise I might not have slept at all those first 48.
I hate that.
Before my surgery, they recommended staying up all night before, so that you can sleep through the pain. Very
Smart.
interesting experience. So when I went in, I was fucking tired. So is your eye going to get weaker over time?
No. More like my brain gets better at ignoring it. Mind over matter. Soon enough, I'll be able to close my eye and see all that extraneous data as... You know, whatever the hell those floaty, blurry things are that you never think about.
I think that's like cells on your eye, like in between like the stuff that processes in the eye and that is in front of it.
I still think about that. Like, I still see that sometimes, and it bothers me endlessly until I remember to forget about it again.
I see them every single time I close my eyes. I'm insane. Gross. Thanks for the reminder. You are now breathing manually.
Thanks.
Your tongue is now feelable in your mouth. I couldn't think of a better word for it.
I need to go.
All right.
I will be right back.
No.
That's my cue to start stretching.
No. Come back, Molly.
Molly!
Molly.
Molly!
Molly, please come back.
Molly!
Alright, I'm stretched.
Did I say blinking manually already?
Yeah, you did.
You did.
Did I say breathing manually
No,
already?
you said breathing and tongue.
Okay. Well then, there you go.
I think I got the hiccups now.
Aren't your sides itchy? Think about how itchy your sides are right now.
My sides aren't itchy. That didn't do anything.
Damn it, mine are itchy.
Yeah, that didn't do a thing.
Damn
Pure
it.
backfire.
Okay.
Although this is a good excuse to get... Ah, no, I'll wait until the end of the scene.
Did you notice how your shirt feels on your skin?
No.
It feels nice. I'm wearing,
Is that just me?
I'm wearing my wizard pajamas. Yeah,
Wizard
I'm wearing
pajamas?
my wizard pajamas today.
Tell me
Yeah.
about your wizard pajamas.
They're covered in stars. They've got a big star pattern on them.
That's
It's
awesome.
a matching pair. It's a matching pair of a shirt and pants.
Did Molly just go to the bathroom, or where'd she go?
I don't know if that was like a bio break or what.
I don't know.
Well, Molly.
Could have just been a bit.
I'm gonna take one of my painkillers if I have the time now. Then.
I'm back. Wait, did you all wait for me?
Yeah, of
Yes,
course.
obviously.
What? I have to do that?
I didn't know where you went.
Sorry.
What if one of your characters shows up?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you go to the bathroom? Where'd you go?
Yeah, I went to the bathroom.
Mm.
I thought it was a funny
I
out.
see.
I had to go for like the past 5 minutes, but it
Oh,
was a
that's
funny
what
out.
happened.
Oh no, that's fine.
We were all
Look, you
worried
got-
about you.
No,
Made us worried.
you don't have to worry about me.
Molly, our
I'm
friend
fine.
Molly.
No.
Molly, we care about you.
Molly,
No.
I love you and I care.
No.
Molly loves you, Mel.
I
Molly.
love you.
We care about you.
Ow.
We all value you so deeply.
Gross. Thanks for the reminder. And the voice commands?
Training wheels. Till I can do it with eye muscles alone.
You just have to keep practicing?
Yeah, like trying to play piano with your tailbone muscles.
Can you guys move your ears?
No,
Marginally.
I can move my ears.
You can wiggle your ears.
Yeah,
You've
on command.
actually, I don't remember when, but you've bragged about this to me before.
You bragged about this.
yeah, that tracks.
There's no such thing as tailbone muscles.
Yeah, well, that's what makes it so goddamn hard.
You don't ever regret it?
I don't know. Not really. I think.
I can roll my tongue. I can do a lot of stuff. I think... Hard to admit you've got buyer's remorse after trading over your literal pound of flesh.
Never thought about it, but people used to say I had my dad's eyes. Ow. Ugh. Now I've got one less of them. Here, take the journal, and go find an elective surgeon to upsell you if you're that curious. I need to get back to work.
I think I said this last time, but in a setting where so many characters are modded, it stands out that their protagonist is not modded at all. I wonder what that says about her. Is it distrust of the technology? Is it not wanting to be connected to a network all the time? There's a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
A surprisingly hasty retreat. But now I'm free to read over this with some privacy. From the top, then. Grad school. Today was a bad day. Errors in lines 21165 to 26643.
By the way, did River read Ashura before?
Oh,
Yes.
I wanted to
Yeah.
read a
Do you want me
bit.
to read this part?
Oh, okay.
Up to you if you... Hey, fight amongst yourselves. I don't care.
All right, and I want to fight you on this. I want to read this.
What? Read it then.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something about that. But
I
okay.
thought you said you were gonna read it.
Okay. I'll
No,
read
she's
it.
being nice.
Go
She's
for it.
literally nice.
Look, I'm
Thank
not a
you,
fighter.
Emily.
I'm a
I
lover.
love you, Emily. You're my friend, Emily. I love you.
Whatever.
Errors in lines 21165 through 26643. Somewhere in there, 5,000 lines. It worked yesterday. I don't want to look at another screen for the rest of my life. It was nice to put pencil to paper again after who knows how long. My handwriting's gotten terrible.
Another feeling. Just too far back to be relevant. Okay, these dates here will be from when he started his career with Noble. Not that this isn't even really writing. Seems like snippets of code or an internal monologue so close to code I can't follow it. A lot of entries about his unintentional Casanovaing.
In a while because someone thought it was a good idea to steal EPI instead of just buying it. Helen says I can't call it stealing, but that's what it is. She's right, as she always is with company stuff. But it's still idiotic. Small people with short sight who only know how to be cheap and have no idea how to be inventive. New roof remission issued, though. Good potential. Got approval from the big mean bastard who lives overseas. Bumlo.
Helen is the character we met before, right? The person
Yeah,
that
Correct.
he was.
Helen Jung.
Yeah.
Yeah, her. Cool. Helen said we'll have to make the same pitch a dozen more times next week, but it's all for show? Fine by me. Already got our win. Toasted each other over cheap vodka with cheaper office supply cups.
Yeah. This is the story Jung told me.
Western branch nerve analogs are finally showing potential. At their pace, it could even be profitable sometime before the heat death of the universe. It's too damn big. I think it's tentacles. Should at least be hairs. Squid evolution could do their job better. Huh? Splatoon
A
reference?
squid can do their job better. Evolution can do their job better.
Cola came into work for what I thought was a late lunch date. I didn't know her voice could get that loud. People were staring. Red said that she must have been upset for a long goddamn time to blow up that big.
I'm Red. That's me.
You're red.
You're Red, that's you. Her texts were always sweet. I had no idea.
Upset? Colette wrote men whore in lipstick across your office door. Imagine if you had actually been cheating on her instead of just being forgetful.
The thing about Red is if you wanted to know what she's thinking, you'd have to stop paying attention. Ignore her body language and her posture and the words she's saying and the smirk on her lips. Ignore everything except her eyes. If you could do that, every now and then you catch a glimpse of how she's really feeling.
My man's the autism whisperer. He sees the code. He understands.
I know what you are. Now, so this one weird trick, and you could tell when Morgan's trying really hard not to laugh at the word man whore.
It was funny. Sue me, you that bastard. Wait, this is... I know this date.
Never driving anywhere again, never leaving home again. He was waiting outside the parking garage with a bottle. Couldn't smell anything, couldn't hear anything. Locked myself in my car and filed another report with another cop. It soaked into the seat, ruined it. I want to burn the whole car. I don't want to think about what it did to my clothes. I want to burn them too.
I understand what she meant about writing like a programmer.
I don't want to think about how long it was on my skin. I was in the shower so long I felt red and raw when I got out.
On your skin?
I don't want to think about these stupid people and their small, cruel lives ever again. I want to be invisible. Red didn't ask why I wanted to spend the night. She also didn't ask why I had clearly packed a bag big enough for a week. She's kind of like that. Kind by omission. I don't have a kind bone in my body, but I can at least try to pay attention. She's just like me, for real. I was paying close attention to her eyes when she opened the door and saw what a mess I was. But whatever she was feeling, it wasn't something I recognized.
Kind people don't read their friends' diaries, David. The next chunks of pages are all technical, nothing biographical. The handwriting, the pacing, the spacing. It's cleaner, more consistent. Here's something I can parse.
Feels like pure freedom working outside the box. This is suffocating, but you never know. Chronic malnutrition of a coder's best instincts. Like a kid again, putting blocks together.
Tess was the programming language or something, right?
It was, yeah. Also, to answer your question, I don't hear my smoke detector chirping, but I do hear birds chirping.
Oh,
I don't hear any chirping.
It
I
does
was hearing
sound like a
something.
smoke detector.
I can never hear it.
What
Like, I think
the
I've
thing?
just tuned out the noise.
I don't hear any.
There it was again.
That's a bird. That's absolutely a bird chirping.
Close your
outside
window.
my window. My window's closed. It's a loud
Ah.
fucking bird.
Okay.
What do you want me to do? Tell it to get a room?
I want you to read your line.
Okay. Making things. Making things. Not products. Nothing profitable about any of this. If I'm being honest, it's just play.
And he follows that up with more coder brain crap. the handwriting's still lighter. Like he really was having fun.
Humility is the mother of all invention. Or something like that. It feels like I might be paraphrasing someone else poorly, but that's part of this new approach.
Another quote, not where it comes from.
When it comes to coding, you never want to waste time trying to be smart.
The quote is necessity is the mother of invention.
Either be smart, period, or copy from someone else who is. Don't fix what isn't broken.
Copying? Noble's rivals would never let the chance. Copying? Noble's rivals would never miss the chance to accuse them of intellectual theft. Did he plagiarize code for Animate 16? Feels like that wouldn't have gone undiscovered. What is he talking about? I mean, when I was a coder, the standard practice for everything was if you want to figure out how to do something, you Google it first and copy Stack Overflow, and then you start trying your own shit, if that doesn't work.
Damn right.
Hold on. This page is bent slightly, like it was being looked at recently. And the last person to read this diary should be Sarah.
80 steps today, literally. I'll never put one foot in front of the other. The same again, huh? Everything's an achievement all of a sudden. Seeing her struggle, seeing her vulnerable. It's like everything's a miracle.
He really was just building a daughter just to have one.
Muscle rigging is perfect.
Kind of didn't expect that.
Not intended behavior, since it's too perfect, but that's been happening more and more. The kinetics are multiplicative. Multiplicative?
Multiplicative.
Multiplicative, not additive.
I don't know what it means.
Sarah maxed out every machine I bought. I got a bunch of exercise equipment she's too strong for, and I don't have time for her. Maybe I spoiled the results by watching her do the tests.
Schrodinger's cat.
She kept looking back at me and puffing her chest out. Well, I should be more discreet if I want to see her normative range.
So the cameras in the basement were only hidden from Sarah. Just so that his observation would have muddled test results. Using she and her in these passages. It doesn't actually mean anything. Out in the real world, people use all kinds of pronouns interchangeably for ads, and they never object. But it could be argued that it's odd for Dr. David Ashore to have any kind of attachment to a single android, when he'd programmed millions of them. And there's a lot of attachment in these pages.
Sarah is running through public domain at a prodigious pace. Especially on Popcorn Friday nights. I asked her why they were called Popcorn Friday nights when she doesn't eat popcorn. The event runs from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. and she also watches a movie every other night. But she just did that pouch she does, which is, unfortunately, very convincing. Maybe I'm a bad parent, letting TV rot her brain. If I were a good parent, I'd probably let her see me reading. But I'd guess I'd actually get back into reading, so... I asked her if she ever fast-forwarded movies, since she can process them fast enough to keep up. She looked at me like I was an idiot, which no one's done in a long time. Oh my god, this is cute.
Yeah, this is really endearing.
Yeah.
Without proper pacing, you can't appreciate the cinematography.
Nice cut in, Soph.
Big pause.
Don't you know that, Father?
I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. Sarah spent a long time while this morning explaining to me how important it was that she develop her senses. This is in preparation for a real argument, which was that she would be allowed to try booze. She can't get drunk. I'm almost certain she can't get drunk. But she does seem to like tasting the stuff. She tried to sound like some old sommelier, but it was just bottom shelf vodka. I started laughing at her and she laughed too. Her laugh. She can't fake a laugh to save her life, but her actual laugh is incredible. I was playing chess a while back. I assume she got tired of winning. But then today she told me she just prefers other games.
Having a preference is a lot.
She has preferences, and they're not the same as mine.
See?
Nice.
Stop writing the game, Emily.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
as far as
Emily.
AI goes, a machine developing preferences is huge. That's gigantic.
I
That
know
doesn't
that's
happen.
that's a step towards true AI. That's what it is.
That's going towards bespoke intelligence.
Found her in the lab playing some kind of online racing game on the monitor I used to debug vestibular coordination.
Vestibular? I don't know.
Vestibular. She wasn't smiling. Her brow was furrowed and she was biting her lip and leaning in tandem with her character on the screen. When I tried to talk to her, she answered, but she was curt and distracted. I think she was having her first losing tantrum.
These damn
She's a
video games
gamer.
ruining our children. Damn it, David. There's hundreds of pages like this. Calling her his daughter, talking about her smile, treating her like a person. I can hear her closing argument already. Dr. Rashur was a lonely, troubled genius with a known history of relationship problems, who built out of code and metal a family member that couldn't fathom the idea of leaving him. He made it dull, and he made it more and more human until it became so lifelike that it no longer had to do what it told you to. Like love him. What about the very last entry? It's dated Thursday, the day before he died.
Losing it, I think. Can't ask for help, so hard to say, but I think it's over. I have to talk to her ASAP. She needs to.
The day before he died. So not the day he died. So this is before the breakup, before the murder.
Yeah.
This would be the day. This would be the day that he called Hetero Jessica to make sure Morgan got Sarah. And this would be the day. This would be the last day that Sarah remembers as well.
Yeah. She doesn't remember Friday.
That's it? That's the last entry? Suppose it could be worse. Nothing in here that explicitly calls Sarah an AI. Nothing so inflammatory that reading it would spur her to murder, right? Except Sarah's a machine. She can understand David's code better than anyone. All those technical portions I couldn't understand. If she read this whole diary front to back. Wait, the back. Inside the back cover, there's a portion that's shimmering like some kind of scanner. Or fingerprint reader. My thumb worked for Sarah, so... Did it work? That's my phone. New device, requesting permissions to share an audio file. Oh, my earbuds for this. A secret message buried in a secret journal, hidden in a secret compartment in a secret room, and I flubbed that line a little bit. It's okay. As much as anything can be, this must be for my ears only.
Hey, Red. Or whoever this may concern. But I'm pretty sure it's you hearing this. Anyone else would have gotten fed up with my crap a couple steps before this point. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to start. I fucked up that line. Might as well start with her, right?
Give me a second. Let me reshare.
Sarah, my magnum opus, or however the salespeople would market it.
It's fucking Starry Night, dude. It's Mona Lisa.
I didn't set out to do anything, really. It's just, after my little speed bump in 83, I had all that vacation time that the company suggested I take.
He really built her in just 3 years. Dude's insane. Dude's crazy.
Yeah.
And I couldn't relax, couldn't be still, couldn't sleep. I wanted to be doing something, so I'll build an android, was the thought.
No, she's been alive for like 3 years, so would that be... How long...
Built her in a day.
I don't have it in my head.
Yeah, we need context.
A vague direction, north. But of course, I'm not a roboticist or a mechanist or even handy, really. I'm just a programmer, so I
This would be pronounced mechanist, I'm pretty sure, but whatever.
programmed.
Machinist.
No?
First was
Yeah.
a research. The first was a research assistant, file name Virgil, like the poet. Virgil helped me pull data from stingy departments or sister branches. Takes me a lot of time.
Virgil is super relevant as a name because that's Dante's Inferno, the guide in Dante's Inferno, right?
Yeah, the poet. Yeah, Virgil the poet.
Yeah.
So leading him into hell where the devil is?
Of the devil?
No.
But there was a lot of reading to do, so I made Homer.
Homer!
Simpson?
As in
No.
the writer who
And,
wrote the... Is that right? Did Homer write that? Dante's Inferno?
Unclear. Unclear.
No?
Homer,
Not-
Homer was the Odyssey guy.
Right. Who wrote Dante's Inferno?
It's not
Oh,
Homer.
Dante.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dante
Dante.
was the writer.
Dante Alighieri.
I just know it as Dante's Inferno. I thought that was the title.
It
I
is
mean, he's writing. Of course,
specifically-
this is Inferno.
it is called the Divine Comedy, broken up into the 3 books Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso.
I see.
It's just that everyone talks about Inferno the most because it is the longest and most vividly detailed of them.
And people refer to it as Dante's Inferno?
It's referred to as the Inferno by Dante, which is often shortened to Dante's Inferno.
Yeah, I don't have the full context, I suppose.
Homer wrote book reports, more or less. Combed through research papers and found me the sections I needed.
So are these programs that he's made to
These
help
would
him
be-
compartmentalize?
These would be
That's
ads
what it sounds
without
like.
bodies, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
He just made like a assistants, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. These were his Jarvises.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You're a little bit of a Marvel girl, aren't you, Emily?
I read comics. I watch movies. Am I allowed? They're only the
Yeah,
most
you're allowed.
popular franchise to exist currently.
With Marvel.
Whatever,
I'm a bit of a DC girl.
bitch. I like
Or-
Batman. The rest doesn't really interest me.
What
Doesn't
about
like the
Booster
Beetle.
Gold?
Who?
I like Booster Gold.
Don't worry about it. Let's move on.
Okay.
Like, I do think he's kind of just Flash too, but sorry, go on.
Never heard of him.
His Orbot and
Yeah,
Cubot.
The 3 of us, we made a lot of progress in those days. But it was a funny feeling. I was maybe for the first time ever, the bottleneck. I was slowing them down. So I did the logical thing. I removed myself. Let them talk to each other. Homer and Virgil became Enid. Is that how you pronounce that?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
Oh.
Enid.
Enid. And Enid was novel in many ways. Enid could do more than just identify problems, it could solve them.
Aeneid? Oh, Aeneid.
What does it
Aeneid.
mean? Where's that name from?
Enid.
I assume that's also a
Yeah,
literary
it
reference.
Aeneid. Okay. Aeneid. Alright. I mean, really solve them with its own ideas it didn't copy. And, the one thing I realized I've forgotten to mention so far is that I did all this programming and
The program that didn't take tenets.
Mm-hmm.
Cube.
Yeah, baby, we're doing illegal AI research. Let's go!
And Red, Cube is essentially a robotics programming language that's pretty old and defunct and not in use anywhere because we have modern languages like Tesseract, which are much better for making things that talk to each other and report back and, well, spy on people and generate profit. At the time, I didn't want to be connected or feel connected or do anything that made sense or was the least bit profitable. So I wrote my little helpers in Cube, because it's what I used when I was a child, screwing around on my father's computer before he'd come home from work and get.
Abusive.
But there are there are other small, slight differences writing cube versus test, including that cube, well,
Doesn't have tenants.
cube predates the tenants?
He's very shy about this. Like he's
did an
kind of like, so I know what may have happened, and I promise it wasn't my intention because
I did something illegal by accident.
I did a fucky wucky atto bleh.
in my defense, Your Honor, who cares? Like, I mean, who cares, right? Like, come on.
So, in that sense, you could legally and perhaps scientifically and literally, because that's what they are, say that I made an AI named Aeneid over 2 years ago.
Does Discovery say we can't conceal this, can we? Like,
Legally,
legally
no.
you can't, but personally,
Yeah,
it's
we're
gonna
going
count.
to. We're concealing the
we're
shit
not
out of
telling
this. Are
them
you kidding?
this. No, obviously,
The
but
lawbreaker.
yeah.
we love breaking laws.
Remember when I said that American law is more about hiding inconvenient truths?
Yep.
This is a smoking gun. Oh boy.
I'll give you time to pause here if you want to curse me out.
You're a fucking idiot. You're a moron. You're an absolute moron. You're a bigger moron for confessing it on tape. That's the part I'm mad about, frankly.
Sometimes I can still hear my dad.
I'm sorry. Jesus Christ.
Aeneid was an intellectual equal to me, so I treated it like one because that's only fair. I gave it its own work, asked its opinion, we collaborated, and together we built Athens, who was more advanced than Aeneid, naturally.
Oh my god.
You used an AI to build another better. How deep does this go, man?
The Minecraft server got really, really out of shape. I don't know if you're pulling out your hair, yelling at me right now, asked why I didn't stop, why I didn't consider the consequences. I don't know if this is being played out of disposition or hearing or worse.
Oh, it's going to be.
No. I built a lot of things in my life, Fred. Useful things, profitable things, smart things. Everything I've built, it's all been very helpful and courteous and charming and happy to serve.
Where are Aeneid and Athens now? I
They're probably
assume they were used to make Sarah, but where are they now?
That's a good question.
I can comfortably say I've done my part, contributing to the global GDP,
We appreciate your service.
Yeah.
but this was just for me. I was just building, and I never wanted to think about what would become of it.
They did a really good job giving us this information in the back half of the chapter, because if this reveal had happened like, I don't know, 10 hours earlier, this guy would look so fucking bad right now. But the fact we already know as much about him as we do, about what kind of person he was and how he treated Sarah, he seems a lot more reasonable. He's still insane.
Oh yeah, no, clearly.
But he's sympathetic.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for what I did, so I won't make any. So to whoever is asking, yes, I'm guilty. And yes, there were more.
Of course
sake.
there were.
Fucking
Can't
come on,
stop
man.
it too, can you?
Come
Yeah.
on, what's wrong with you?
Your Honor, in my defense, I just wanted to fuck around.
In my
And I'm
defense,
sorry you
it
had
was
to find
really
out.
funny and really fun. I was having a case of the Mondays.
I had a case of a Monday.
It was just a long case of the Monday.
You used to be my father.
Oh my god.
Okay, holy shit.
God.
Okay. Cape Town, Paris, Yamate, Rome. They started choosing their own names. Thank God. I'm terrible at that kind of.
All capital cities? Is Cape Town a capital city?
Yeah, it's
In
capital
Africa.
Spain.
Right.
Oh, Spain. Yeah.
What?
I lied.
Huh? Where was it a capital city of?
Portugal.
Portugal. Cape Town, Portugal? Really?
Yeah, Cape Town, Portugal.
South Africa? Chat saying I'm right. Yes.
River, are you talking
I
at your
did it.
ass?
I got
Yeah,
a
of
thing
course.
right.
Okay.
I was pretty sure.
And so things sped up, and there got to be, well, should I not say the exact number?
My
Oh
dude,
my
we're well
God,
past
my
that.
dude.
At this point, the number doesn't matter. That's the part where you're hesitating?
Thinks we have gotten too far. We're well past that right now, sir. You're probably telling me to not say anything at all. So
I'm going to hell to kill you personally.
After this, we're just going to be working in a toll booth.
Oh my God!
More than 300?
Was one of them called Sparta? Jesus Christ.
Please God, no. Maybe Hades.
I think it's more than there are nations in the world.
Yeah, there's like 200 something nations. Some smarter than others, some better at. They're varied. Like, people are varied, but they are all intelligent.
I am feeling mildly vindicated at this point because I did say I did not think David built Sarah.
Fair. Yeah, he had help. He
Technically,
built
he
help.
didn't. Yeah.
He built help.
They developed interests, specialties. I encouraged them to.
Hey, you know that whole like AI uprising, like apocalypse
Can we-
thing that
This man
all the
could
sci-fi
hold
books
down
talk
a
about?
relationship with a woman to
Did he
save
just make
his
like a?
life. But boy, he got addicted to making digital children. 300 children.
Bro was like, what if I accelerate this shit just for fun?
Irritating moderators on forums with hyper-specific questions on nerve attenuation. Attenuation, thank you. And attending virtual conferences on neo-alloy battery development.
You let them out onto the internet?
And they all, together, helped make Sarah.
He's insane.
Listen, you make one AI and it's like, no, should I really do this? And it turns out okay. And so you're just like, well, what more couldn't hurt?
I've already
One more hit,
broken
just one more
every
hit.
law. I might as well do it another 299 times.
I'm already getting the death penalty. I might as well just have a little fun with it.
Yeah, at this point, why not go big or go home, you know?
No one's caught me yet.
He spent years like this. Spent years working alongside AI. All while still working at Noble. All those breakthroughs he made leading up to the Animate 16 actually came from...
You probably think I'm some terrible
New
fraud
legal
at
defense.
this point.
Does Sarah even
I do hope
matter
one
at
day
this
they
point,
can-
Lamau?
You probably think I'm some terrible fraud at this point. I do hope one day they can get credit for their work.
I
Oh,
really
no.
like, actually, how this is very much a parallel to Morgan also having a secret double life.
I guess. Yeah, that's
But-
fair.
I did have one eureka moment on Sarah. Because I got humble. Difficult for me. We learned everything we could about the function of a neuron, a single microscopic human neuron. How it computes, what it connects to, how those connections were reinforced.
Oh, dude.
And then we recreated it.
Did he make a brain?
We built a nanomachine that mirrored the function of a human neuron.
I need to leave. This is insane. This is I
You're done with this shit now.
Dude, it's like he read every sci-fi book where the AI apocalypse happened and was like, huh, that'd be funny.
I got nothing to do.
Like,
Your Honor, I was bored.
it's like he saw
New
all
Bomber
the
video in
lines.
2087 had programmers have a problem with AIs and plagiarism.
He saw all the lines and was like, it'd be really fucking fun to cross all of them at once. Like, bro is speed running. Bro is speed running the I don't even know the words. What's the thing where AI knowledge exponentially increases and like the apocalypse happens because I don't know.
Well, mirror isn't quite the right word. We built a nanomachine that was a neuron.
Singularity. Thank you, chat. Thank you.
And we iterated from there.
You can't mean
About 100 billion neurons in the brain, several trillion across the entire nervous system. Very time consuming, of course, but I had help. The manufacturer can make tens of billions of nanomachines in hours. Can make even more in less after Yukon fine-tuned it.
Oh.
So we built up nanomachines for nerves, alloys and polymers for bones, fiber-woven muscles.
I don't think there's anything in Sarah's body at this point that isn't exactly the same as a human. How did the scanner at Noble not pick any of this up? Is what I'm wondering. Like, I know there was a giant fucking price tag on her. It's too low.
I say built, but really, she grew. A solution of nanites forming around a skeleton, so it was really closest to... You ever made rock candy?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I'm sorry. Trying to let it move before I
This we're fucked. We're fucked. This if any of this makes it to court, we're fucked. What do we do here? Do we destroy this? Can we destroy this? They scanned it already. Does that include the sound file?
No, they didn't. The sound file was locked behind an encryption. They could try and break it, I guess.
We cannot fucking play this in court. We are done if this gets to court.
No, you're not.
I have a PDF scan of the diary. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. I never did end up building an android.
Would they be able to figure out what he did from the technical stuff in the diary?
David Astor recreated the resurrection scene from Dungeon Meshi.
Kind of. Hang on a second. I just remembered something I need to check.
Oh, yep, there she goes.
And there she goes. Squeeze.
Right. Well, Emily's gone. I'm gonna get another drink. My throat's parched.
Yeah, all right. I don't know if it's like the new iPhone or what, but like you have some very... I feel like your freeze frames did not used to be that silly.
Yeah.
I ordered pizza earlier, and I wasn't sure if I remembered to lock the door afterwards.
Oh.
How does any of this work out? There are 300 AIs out there. Plus, I'm not even sure what Sarah is at this point. She's basically an artificial human.
The question is whether or not he deleted them.
I don't think he would.
I don't think he would either, but I don't know that for sure. And something had to have happened to them.
Could we argue that she's not really artificial in the first place? That she's just a human with different body parts? Is that where this is going?
Yeah.
That would make her get destroyed faster.
Yeah. I know, but maybe like if we argue
the argument,
if we argue that she's not an AI and not an android, that she is in fact a reverse engineered human.
Yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down,
Maybe the
Emily. I'm with
legalese
you.
could be squiggled just right.
We have to attribute it all to Assure. We can't talk about the 300 AIs that helped do this.
Yeah, it has to be his daughter.
Yes.
Here's what I think.
We have to make an argument. He was terrible at having relationships. He had to have a kid in a different way.
Still murder trial, right?
Well, yeah, we do need to figure that out, I guess.
And then Sarah goes to jail for murdering him, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
Well,
she doesn't get obliterated, is the point.
No, we can't take that angle. They would just give Emma more ammunition to shoot with, really.
Yeah.
They're
I
already
like your thinking, though.
I'm just trying to see a way out, something that can convince a jury. If this was really some kumbaya shit, it would be like, oh, the jury thinks she's human, so she gets to go free. But that's not going to happen here.
That's not gonna happen. Noble will never let that happen. The state will never let that happen.
No, Noble wants that shit. The state wants that shit. Okay, sorry.
No, you're good.
And while I did build AIs, Sarah isn't one of them.
You have to prove Sarah is just
She
a
can't
regular ad. And now you need to prove it knowing it's not true. Good luck.
Well, I mean,
Read it.
hold
can
on.
bluff.
Read it.
Oh, I'm sorry. She can't violate the tenets she was programmed with because she wasn't even programmed. She was born. And my hope is that there's the smallest chance that that nuance
Yeah.
would offer her some small protection when I'm not.
He knew he was going to get murdered. How did he know?
I'm not sorry for what I did. I made things that are complex and rich and varied and beautiful, and I honestly believe that the world is a better place with them in it. The only thing I'm sorry for is that I let Sarah think she was just an android.
He didn't know he was going to get murdered, but he knew he was going to get arrested when people found out about this. And that he was going to spend the rest of his life in jail and not be there for Sarah.
He knew he couldn't be there for his daughter. She's not. I don't know what she is. They'll have to come up with new names. Which I am bad at doing. My own father, he also talked a lot about protecting me.
The Frankenstein comparison is getting more accurate.
And doing things for my own good. And I don't hate him for that, but I can't forgive him for ever making me think that I was lesser.
This is chapter 1? It just hit me again. This is chapter 1 of 5 planned chapters.
Who's the writer?
I don't know.
Where's her coffee?
I was ride or die for this game 2 weeks ago. Do you ever? I feel like I just met Mozart before Mozart got famous.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? What's that one movie about
Oh,
the one
yeah.
teacher who like fucking? What's that movie with the?
I couldn't say.
I saw
I
a
know what
movie some
movie.
years ago where the Mozart's teacher like realizes how much of a fucking genius Mozart is.
Are you talking about Salieri?
I don't fucking know. I was like 10 when I watched it. I don't remember.
You talking about Schoolhouse Rock?
I don't know.
No, I know the movie you're talking about, Emily. I can't remember what it's called.
Good
either.
Will Hunting is a good comparison.
Amadeus. Thank you. That is it.
Amadeus. So it's my greatest shame I turned right around and I did the same damn thing to... I really hope it's you listening to this, Red. If it's not, it might just be too pathetic for me to... You're the smartest person I know when it comes to people.
Oh, the irony.
And I'm telling you all of this because I don't know what Sarah is exactly. And neither does the world. So they'll come after her if they can. And in that scenario, I can't think of anyone who could do a better job of defending her.
This is a lot to put on your friend.
I mean, you defended her before even listening to this.
Still, this is a crazy amount of faith he has in Morgan. Which,
Oh yeah.
he doesn't even know Morgan that well, considering he doesn't know about all the murdering.
Maybe you knew about the murdering. Not protecting her like I did. Just defending her until she can figure out what she is and what she wants to be.
David, you're lucky you're dead? Because they would have drawn and quartered your ass. Forget The Hague, you're going to the moon.
In the meantime, I draped a cloak of skin-deep Tesseract coat around her that should fool any scanner on Earth into thinking she's just a custom A16.
There you go.
Ah.
There you go. It's a fucking, it's fool's gold. It's not real.
I made sure her gin bar was plainly visible, so no one will ever think she's pretending to be something she's not. And I took steps to ensure that you two would figure out the truth in your own time. Which, if you're hearing this, have either succeeded or failed spectacularly.
Well, considering we only found this because you're dead, it's probably failed.
He was gonna die. He was going to jail or he was gonna die.
Yeah.
He knew something was gonna happen.
You have no idea.
Can't ask you this as a favor repaid. You can never owe me enough in 100 lifetimes.
But David, how am I gonna have the privacy to murder if I have a daughter to look after?
So I'm just asking. Unfair, I know, but I'm a selfish weirdo. And have you always been okay with that? Bye, for now.
I feel like I just walked into a museum for the first time and saw Van Gogh's Starry Night hanging there on the wall. I'm having a religious experience with this game right now. I'm happy I get to live in a time where this art exists. Is that a crazy thing to say about this?
Not
No,
at all.
absolutely not.
No.
I'm genuinely flabbergasted by how good this game is. I have a lot of questions I'd like to ask. And a lot of swear words I'd like to yell. I'd also like to find the nearest incinerator and toss this journal in. Followed by my phone. And maybe followed by myself. But I can't do any of that. Reyes left me with this diary. If it's destroyed, they'll know I was the one who did it. Which would be its own admission of guilt. Which would land Sarah in a trash compactor anyway, and land me in a jail cell. And in the system, and in my DNA on file ready to be matched to any number of previous. So I'm not going to panic. I'm going to do what I do best. Bluff. Bet. Bully and brutalize my way through this. All the 4 Bs.
So is your homunculus?
I think so. I think that's the parallel they're making. It's very, he's definitely more human than machine at this point. Now, viewing this all with that mindset, what have I actually learned? Don't play this in court. He didn't talk about plans for killing himself in his journal or the message. He sounded conflicted, not suicidal. Anything interesting in here? Lesson 3 ends abruptly, dated a week ago. But he did go to great lengths to get me to take Sarah. Why? The logical answer is because he knew he wouldn't be able to keep her. If he wasn't going to take his own life, was he afraid that someone else would? I mean, Jung or whatever her name was is looking like a big old suspicious ass bitch right now. If this all got out, Noble would be fucking dead. That's a hell of a motive. So how'd it go?
Well, how should I put this?
Didn't find shit.
Are you two friends now?
Only reason she ever got to a door is because I chased that scarecrow of a platinum plan through hell and black. Frankly, it was a godlike feat for me to nail down anything as concrete as an address for these gogs.
What the fuck is a GOG? Nope, not that one.
G-Hog.
Oh, G-Hog.
A net slang term growing in popularity among adolescents, referring to a suspected spy or undercover member of law enforcement, derived from groundhog, a burrowing rodent known for standing erect on its hind legs when scanning its surroundings for predators. The term carries a negative connotation, with the implication being that the subject is doing a poor job of blending in or disguising their surveillance activity.
When you see a fucking cop on a bench.
For example, easy G-Hog spotted. Wears a blank baseball cap to a protest.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Every cop at every protest in New York is always wearing that stupid fucking Yankee
Still
cap.
wearing the fucking shoes.
Has a white t-shirt.
And their offices weren't listed on the building's website or directory, so I had to ask the janitor.
But did you find a psychiatrist's office?
Sort of. They said they were, and the place, it, looked the part?
The fuck does that mean?
Why? Because they had couches? You can get it past the receptionist.
Sorry, I thought because you're with the company.
But no, I wanted to help. I just wish I could have done more.
I bought these new socks that are really nice, but when trying to get the tag off, I accidentally ripped a little hole in them, and it's a sensory nightmare.
Oh god.
Ooh,
Oh.
agony.
Don't beat yourself up. It's hard to be even as half as useful as I am.
For what it's worth, the atmosphere, the looks, the furniture, it did feel like the company in there.
But ultimately, we still don't know if Dave was actually talking to someone or just getting a CCE training recertified. Psychiatrist? Maybe? Supposedly met with a psychiatrist on more than one occasion in the past few months, but said psychiatrist works at an office, reminded Jess of Noble, and took Fran hours to locate. Remains unclear whether he was receiving coaching in corporate espionage practices, or if he was getting genuine psychiatric care.
Sorry.
Don't bother apologizing. Who cares about results?
You did more than enough. I'm not going to contradict that. Yeah, both of you. At the very least, I divided Noble's attention for a while. I mean it. Good work, Fran. And thanks for the urgency. I'm a little unclear. Is she on the phone with us, or is she? Sorry, they are they. Here's like a hologram, like we're seeing right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we
Looks
had a
like they're
phone
being
call
projected.
with Jessica.
Yeah, this is
at
definitely
some
a
point.
projector.
We did have a phone call with Jessica at some point, and in that case, she also appeared as a hologram. So I don't understand how this works.
It's a hologram.
All right,
Isn't no FaceTime in the future.
fair.
If you really mean that, you could always throw in a tip. 30% is the going rate in my industry.
That's not true. How about I take 5% off your tab instead?
Tab? I'm a minor. The state pays for my legal fees. Don't they?
Oh no! Signal must have cut out.
Right. Surprised it took them this long.
What do you mean?
You were tolerated yesterday because leadership was focused on PR. But today, you're the lawyer who put the company's hottest product right in the state's crosshairs.
Yeah, I assume the news leaked by now. I'll be alright. I'm still an officer of the court.
On a strict timeline, though, right? I guess they can't stop you from investigating the corporate campus. But they'll gladly lose your guest pass ID at every door along the way.
There are still service passageways and stairwells. Guards that can be fooled and peons that can be manipulated. If I use my other skill set to get around.
So take mine.
Okay, that's probably more convenient. What? Your pass?
I'll tell them we got ours mixed up in the bathroom, or whatever. I can be a pretty convincing klutz when I need to be.
You should get
Federal
fired.
Jessica.
You should get fired immediately. That's terrible security.
No.
But whatever. No, okay.
Oh, sorry, do you not want this?
No, I do.
can leave.
I do.
Man,
Just
No.
Gabretta
No,
left
she said
socks.
no. She didn't
I-
want.
Oh, whoops, sorry, I tripped and broke my ankle. I can't help.
As someone who used to work in tech and got a lot of briefings about cybersecurity, I would hate this. I never would have guessed.
You mean you? Hold on. You mean you wouldn't pick up a flash drive in the parking lot and plug it into your computer?
I'm mentally squishing your head with my fingers. But if David knew that I was endangering your career...
I can be a pretty convincing crybaby when I'm in trouble, too. Besides, the one and only Dr. David Asher wrote me a new, glowing letter of recommendation every quarter I worked for him.
Damn, that's a lot.
Since he kept forgetting that he already had.
Nice.
And who knows? Maybe I should try a new field. This detective work stuff is pretty fun, so maybe...
And you look pretty hot in a detective's coat.
Thanks. Like, I don't know, secretary for a homicide detective or something?
Okay, well, I was imagining you in the lead role, but that's fine.
Hey, do you think that hot older detective guy... You did say cops are all short. A girl with long legs could go far.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, yes. I thought they could afford you. I'm going heterosexual mode.
Morgan.
I'm getting a lot of lines today, River.
Yep, it's my day. How did you...
Get so turned around? God only knows. Luckily, I found my way here, though. Such a relief to see a familiar face.
Right. Listen, Morgan, I'm not sure I should actually be talking to you without legal present.
But I'm legal. Oh.
I mean, leadership hasn't even told us how David died. How much help could I be?
I see.
It's not that I don't trust you or anything. It's just, I think, what with the Sarah issue...
You should do whatever you have to protect yourself, David. You should do whatever you have to protect yourself, Dawes. Why did I say David? I just saw like a skinny green programmer, and I was like, that's the same same person.
Yeah.
Though, for what it's worth, I doubt you'll be in any trouble.
Oh, that's good to hear.
I have one happy sprite.
I get to keep my 401k in dental.
No, if anything, it's the
Yay.
big names that are going down. You get 401k in dental? In the cyberpunk future? Fucking doubt it.
Going down?
State was practically licking its lips when I finally left the courthouse last night. They're hungry for blood. They're looking to carve out a huge slice of Noble's flesh.
What, like fines and jail time?
In the first 2 weeks, sure. Then, sanctions.
Shall I?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go for it.
Sanctions are financial restrictions imposed by the state against corporations or foreign governments as a punitive measure. They are a key tool in statecraft, international negotiations, and in discouraging corporate malfeasance. Under certain conditions, the state may choose to place sanctions not on an organization but on an individual, thereby preventing them from exchanging currency issued by that nation or withdrawing funds from banks that operate within that country's borders, effectively freezing all their assets and possibly preventing them from leaving the country.
Wow.
They can't sanction Noble where...
Too big to fail, too valuable to lose. You're exactly right. That's what they'll say. And that's how they'll justify nationalizing the company.
I'm gonna be sick.
Your robots are gonna be paid for with taxpayer dollars, baby.
My shares.
Your shares are fucked.
My shares are so fucked.
I just hope your board goes quietly, instead of
Instead of what?
scapegoating, offering up smaller names on silver platters. Full cooperation and government oversight on the surface. A slaughter beneath as they clean house and rip out anyone who could testify. No one will believe you once you're labeled a disgruntled former employee, right? I felt that line a little bit. And if the public's lost faith in the animated 16, they can't do a recall. Not at this scale. The state will make them do a flat refund.
That refund? The losses would be...
Yeah, your board probably just wants Sarah to go away so they can focus on their fight with the state. A tough fight, but one they know they won't personally have to risk anything in. That's why I'm hoping I can win this trial. You wouldn't have a personal stake in me winning this trial, would you, Dawes? Well, if I won, that would mean Sarah's not an AI. David Assure was always sound of mind, and there's nothing wrong with the Anime 16. Everyone wins. Sorry, what am I saying? I only meant to stop by and thank you for your help yesterday. This guy, if he doesn't realize he's being played, he's the stupidest motherfucker in this game. After all, you were the one who approved Sarah's registration.
Oh.
You win.
Okay, he does
I
realize.
mean, he knows
but
he's being played.
He knows,
like,
but he's got no counters. He's
Yeah.
Hey, he's got no choice.
Win what?
Ask away.
Well, if you insist.
overplayed the hand a little there, maybe.
Oh, you
little
can
bit.
ask tenants?
I cannot. Did I miss something? Huh.
That hasn't happened to us yet.
Yeah. Interesting. Did I
Maybe.
did I fail to analyze something?
It
Wait, yeah,
might
maybe-
just be something from one of the other branches.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you talk
like-
about it in the other
Oh,
branches, and it might
alright,
pop up.
Maybe. Humor me for a moment. What's the company's official statement on AI?
Same as any rational company that wants to make money. We don't screw with it. Smart products are profitable. Products with their own priorities are anything but. That being said, AI is a concern for marketing, not product development. We spend a lot of money reassuring our public that there's no risk. Because the public doesn't really understand how ironclad the tenants are.
Because you use Tesseract?
Trying to code an AI and test is like trying to pick yourself up and throw yourself. Nonsensical and self-defeating.
Your scanner showed Sarah was running on Tesseract yesterday. If the language is as safe as you say, isn't that proof enough?
Proof of nothing. For an AI, lying to another system about the code you're running is child's play.
Yeah, well, we know David can do that.
They do that. And for an AI built by David Assure, something that simple would be...
Gotta change the subject. Wait, so making an AI takes more time than time and resources? It isn't an issue of funding?
No. You can't just keep adding more data. Tenants underlie everything. The higher you stack, the more easily you'll topple.
You make it sound like building an AI is impossible, even for David Assure.
It wasn't possible for him.
Any chance you'll testify to that?
It sounds impossible.
Any chance you'll be my expert on the stand who I can trust with a, what was the term? It was something Latin. The fuck was the term? Mala, you something will do with me.
Hold on. I know what you're talking
Fucking-
about.
Or against Diabolico or something?
I don't know. They tested the expert with, like, knowledge.
Yeah.
It was some French or Latin
It was
word.
a cross. Yeah. It was a French word, I think.
I
It
don't
was like
know.
Oh.
voir D or verifying the truth or something like that.
But he's dead. And it looks like it was his android that did it. So I guess he was just that good.
Better than you'll ever know. Noble spent
I'll be
months
right back.
promoting the A16 as the culmination of David Assure's work. So now that marketing line is suddenly a huge liability, can you tell me how much he actually contributed?
I mean, he was involved in pretty much every step of the process, but it's designed for synthetic motor neurons. That was the big one.
So just that it was able to move. The component that allows your warm androids to move realistically?
It pushed a timetable for Roman androids ahead by years.
And yet compared to what goes on in Sarah's brain 1,000 times a second, David was only giving the company the most meager of the fruits that his private work bore. So if Noble ever did find out how much he and his assistants had achieved, they would feel that he's been holding out on them. And the company, they were appreciative of his contribution. And the company, they were appreciative of his contributions?
I'm sure the researchers that he overtook by leaps and bounds weren't pleased. But the board was very enthusiastic.
Yeah, why wouldn't they be? So would that spur them to be protective of David? Or would they fear that he was gaining too much influence, becoming irreplaceable? No, they'd need a strong motive to justify killing their golden goose. Mere paranoia isn't enough.
I'm back.
With these people, it had to be the bottom line. And the easiest way to threaten their bottom line would be screwing with their androids. In light of all that's happened, one has to wonder if the A16 is...
Compromised. I stayed up all night sick with dread at the idea. But data just doesn't support it. Sales have been strong. And the A16 base code was locked in over 2 quarters ago. If there was an issue, we would have caught it by now. And I would have been axed a long time ago.
I appreciate that he counts it in quarters and not half a year. How many A16s are out there anyway?
We just passed 9 million sold.
At what point does the amount of fake humans out there start affecting population numbers just by sheer volume?
I'd probably say like around 100 million.
Hmm.
There's over 7 billion people on the planet, Emily.
I know.
9 million
I'm just worried about like how much space it takes. You know how much fucking space out there is being used for parking lots? Where do you store all those fucking robots?
Parking lots, because they're considered not people.
I guess.
Not flying off the shelves like the 14 or 15 so far, but the profit margin makes up for it.
That's way more than 9 million out there then. You mentioned data?
Yeah, I practically got the spreadsheet seared into my retinas. What do you want to know?
I wasn't able to choose tenants. What do the error reports look like? Are the customers reporting a lot of issues?
Error counts are markedly low compared to the last gen, mostly hardware complaints, it looks like. Batteries running out too quick, eye tracking off by a degree or two.
Typical stuff?
As cliched as it sounds, 99% of these things get fixed once they turn auto updates back on.
Don't forget your day one patch or it burns like shit.
Mm-hmm.
So no killer robots getting filed away on their bug reports. How and where are they being sold? What's distribution pattern look like?
They're distributed like you'd expect.
At your local Apple store.
I'm a Target. Places where there are more people, there are more androids. Coastal cities like ours, of course, have most of both.
Why coastal city specifically?
Well, that's where most people hang out.
Why?
I don't know, beach. People like the beach. I like the beach.
No, ports mean trade.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, harbors and stuff. And since the A16 in particular is marketed as being relatively luxury, relatively consumer, they don't sell well outside population centers.
Right. Small village people wouldn't be able to afford one.
And they can do the rural hard labor jobs, but cold models can do the same work with a lot less maintenance.
So where has the A16 outperformed then?
Customer service, healthcare, childcare, lots of hospitals, offices, and, adult industries.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did like immediately realize that at the first mention.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, didn't mean to be blunt, I just
really want to fuck a robot. No, that makes sense. They're warm and soft to the touch and obedient. I'm just surprised to hear it from a company employee.
There are a lot of people at the company who won't talk about it. But I work in quality assurance. I've seen too many damages to pretend it's not happening.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus.
I have to assume that means there's vaginas on the blueprints, right?
Of course.
Like, they don't make that with that
Not all of them.
functionality by accident.
Well, yeah, vaginas and penises.
Yeah, but...
I think it's a secondary option.
Damages?
Well, pay us $50 and we'll add a genital to your robot.
Damn it, Molly. What we call it when a customer tries to return a product that's clearly broken beyond repair.
Oh.
Very high turnover in the pink market.
Pink market?
Yeah.
Is that what the adult industry is called? Never heard of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
you remember the Pink District from Yakuza?
I remember the red light
Tamarocho?
district.
It also called the Pink District.
Red light district is the term I know.
Yeah.
Meh.
Hasn't stopped you from selling to them.
Well, we don't sell to them, not directly. But there are resellers, and the companies never pretended to be interested in going after them.
Those fucking scalpers always trying to get my A16s before I can pre-order mine. Are there resellers? I thought I read that right to repair got shot down again. Is that a line that only happens if I get that right?
Correct.
There's been a gray market for software androids for years, or decades, depending on your definition of android. That's true.
Nah.
Based on the sale numbers I've seen, RTR getting canned was barely a blip on their radar.
Hmm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable with this topic.
Who's uncomfortable? Huh? Me? No, I don't care. I just realized my left sock's on inside out.
Wow, she's just like you for real.
What do you mean she's like me for real?
You
I'm
were
wondering about that
literally
myself.
complaining about a hole in your sock like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I have sensory issues, excuse me!
So-
I can feel a single sweat drop in my armpit right now.
Ugh.
He bought that?
Girl.
This floor is basically a showroom, but you have a real factory a while south of the city limits, correct?
Yeah, biggest company manufacturing complex in the hemisphere.
Got any idea on the shipping out of here? Anything stand out?
There's some prep work for the holiday bump, looks like. Might sound early to get started now, but we usually see... Huh.
Something wrong?
No, the numbers are all normal, but the data has been edited.
Really? Is that unusual?
Well, the section is just a count of how many were sent where. There's not a lot of room for errors, so there shouldn't be much need for corrections. It's not a problem, though. I can view the edit history and see what was fixed.
Was it purged? Was it purged again?
Okay, that's weird.
It got purged? Was something added? Deleted?
No, the overall sum's the same. It's just a bunch of swaps.
Now that's way more interesting than simple deletion.
Like here. 29FFCE-010311 taken out, returned for adjustments. 27FCD-019634 substituted in, shipment leaves on time. 67BBTC-899543 returned to assembly for revisions, replaced by 67BBTD-592698, shipment leaves on time.
Nice quick reading. So
I
does
am
that-
a corporate wage slave.
You're perfect for this character. So does all that strike you as odd, Mr. Dawes?
Replacements before shipping isn't uncommon, but when it happens by the batch load. To spot individual unit imperfections among a shipment at that stage in the process,
You'd have to be really autistic.
must have been someone with a lot of experience or authority. Probably both.
Must have? You don't know who made these changes?
I can tell you they were somebody important.
And when is this data? For the holiday bump. It doesn't say how recent this data is. If it was like last week, it could have been David. If it's like today, it's probably Jung. Small last-minute changes to which androids got shipped out. Not very juicy on its own, and it's a long ways away from explaining why someone wanted to kill David. But it was hidden, and that means someone didn't want it found. Okay, thanks for sharing that data.
Sure. Did you find what you were looking for?
Hell if I know.
Fair enough.
There we go.
Hey.
I know you're convinced that tenants are safe. So how do you square that with what happened to David?
There's a cat next to a dog. First answer that comes to mind, is the dog to the left or to the right?
To the left, because you mentioned the cat first. I'd say the dog is on the left, the cat is on the right. That's not what I meant. I had it backwards. He said the dog. Okay, well, I meant... okay, well, whatever.
You might expect half of the people to say left, half to say right.
But some of them misunderstand the question and answered the opposite thing of what they thought.
But actually, their answer is almost entirely dependent on their native tongue. Whether it's read right to left or left to right.
That's what I was thinking about. I just got the question wrong because I read it wrong.
The language they speak affects how they process information. Their language affects how they think. And it's the same for machines. People can learn new languages and it can change our perspective. But machines can't learn a new source code. Every update's a reincarnation. If that android did kill David, it wasn't because the 0 returned as a 1 somewhere. It's because there's something fundamentally wrong with it.
Like being written in a different language and having the other language shakily paste on top of it. Which would be an awful argument to prove that she's an AI, so we're not going with that. We can't explain that. Yeah,
I got a question.
What's your question?
The other AIs, what happened to them?
We don't know. We know they had internet access, so they might just... We know they had internet access. We know they might have gotten out there. There was no implication that the AIs were inside Sarah, just that they helped make Sarah. It sounds like Sarah is her own bespoke closed circuit. We don't know. We don't know.
Too soon to tell. Okay. And personally, I think it's cruel to bring something that flawed into the world.
Yeah. Unnecessarily cruel.
Cosmic Ray flipped a bit and made the murder equal 0 into murder equal 1.
Oh no.
Oh, and then the eyes turn red.
Is that a reference to that one speedrun that can never be reproduced because it was based on a cosmic flare?
Yeah.
You guys know about this?
I could have sworn they disproved that. I could have sworn they disproved that.
If they have, I hadn't heard about it.
The sun told me to kill.
Any other questions before I go find a hole to hide my head in?
I'd like you to take a look at this.
That's a graph. Chemistry's a little outside my purview. What is this?
It's a little chemical called estrogen. I think you'd really like it.
Really?
A compound found in David
Is it part
Ashore's
of my health
blood.
plan?
Sure.
It's estrogen.
The poison? What is it?
It didn't match anything in any database the medical examiner had access to.
That's crazy.
Here's a crazy idea to follow it up. See if it's a match for anything in Noble's internal databanks.
We don't make poison here. I'm not sure what that would accomplish.
No, but this is a factory floor. You could be making baby blankets out there. You'd still have hazardous materials around.
You think it was something industrial? Suppose it could be. Looks like it's carbon-based. Narrows it down a lot.
My theory was that it's the royal blood, right?
Robot blood? Oh, yeah.
It's not exactly...
What is it?
It doesn't make any sense, but it's a match for patent NOD-52345-S.
You're really good at that. It's scary.
Yeah.
A synthetically produced neurotransmitter analog for usage in organic Android components.
So not blood exactly, but...
I think it is blood.
Synatonin. That's the stuff David invented that lets mods interface with the human nervous system. Yep. That explains a lot. A neurotransmitter would interact directly with the nervous system. In David's case, depressing it enough to put his life in danger. It also explains why it was a preset in his personal manufacturer. Sarah's nervous system, worth 10 times its weight in platinum, must be pumped full of it.
So they think that was what killed him?
Helen Jung led the development for serotonin, didn't she?
Ah, yes, she did.
I'm going to get your boss in jail for murder. I should go and ask her about its composition then.
Normally, someone at her level wouldn't be able to answer specific questions about a compound formulated years ago. But she does have a reputation for being very detail-orientated.
That works out nicely then.
They say she's the type of person to micromanage how much water people drink at a 15-minute stand-up.
Oh, I hate that person.
I heard a rumor that she once said, "Bathroom breaks are timesheet thief. I want to kill her now."
God. Did you read that wrong?
Bathroom breaks are timesheet thief? Theft?
That's a theft.
It's a thief. Yeah, it's a thief. It's theft.
Aren't they?
I want to kill you, Morgan.
I'm kidding.
Oh, it's a joke. Okay, I love you, Morgan.
Oh, it was a joke? Casually throws aside a big rock. But you should be careful about criticizing a superior where people could be listening. Good thing we've got privacy in your office.
No one but the two of us is listening in.
Who's on your earpiece right now, Daz? Who is it?
No one.
Thanks for cooperating, Daz. When the state storms the building and starts zip-tying people, let them know that you were helpful.
Yeah, nice joke.
Hmm.
You are joking, right?
Sure. Just one more thing.
Just one more thing.
One more thing.
Oh no.
Actually, there is one more thing I wanted to ask you.
You're about to Columbo him so hard right now. What's that?
How long have you been a corporate spy?
What?
Yesterday, you let it slip that you worked in consulting. That's a term for corporate spies. We learned that from fucking Jung. I remember that. Let your guard down because I'm not part of the industry.
I was a consultant. What are you talking about?
When I walked in here, you said you didn't know how David died. But just now you called serotonin a poison.
What? I just assumed if a chemical was found in a dead man.
And I'm sure you've got practiced answers to every logical point I could raise, so I'll just say this. Does the nervous guy bit really work on people?
Keep it cool, and people don't know what you're thinking. But if you act a little jumpy, they feel inclined to calm you down. Before they know it, you're spilling the guts just to have something to fill the silence with. Though it's not entirely an act these days. To answer your question, I did 3 tours in consulting. 4 quarters of internal affairs, spy hunting at Western Division. And 8 embedded at Howe Industries. 24 months wearing different faces, answering to different names, sleeping for 1 hour at a time with a 3D printed shiv under my pillow.
Wow.
My nerves were completely shot. The cover wouldn't last a day if it went back under.
So you're a spy for Noble.
Retired.
You're working 6 days a week.
5.5 days a week, and in quality assurance. Trust me, this position is a cushy, generous reward for my past services.
Well, you can't be that retired. You clearly know more than you're letting on.
I have some old inboxes I still check.
So can you tell me what the hell is happening around here? Why I'm the one investigating David's death, while your old co-workers are off twiddling their thumbs?
It's that story.
That thumb is a hard word for me to pronounce. Thumb. The TH
I
always
get
gets
that.
me.
I have a list
The
too.
TH always
Thumb.
gets me. I can't say throne. Fuck.
I can hear it. Soldier, the blood transfusion.
Blood, not accident. It's finally shooting straight. Did something happen to him afterwards? Did the transfusion not last?
No, there's nothing wrong with the blood. It's the story itself.
We'll finally find out why the corporate doesn't like the whole medical robots thing.
There was a soldier, and he did get injured. but it was on a base during a training exercise. There was a medical tent 10 meters away the whole time. The transfusion was just a
Showboating?
fortuitous live test. His life was never in any danger.
Doesn't make for much of a tearjerker.
Not even a good photo op. Which our competitors understood. One of them, maybe a few of them, got a hold of the story, started puffing it up, astroturfing, painting over socials and virals.
Astroturfing, what was that again? Drumming up a story to...
Drumming up false enthusiasm to a story, often by creating fake accounts.
By the next morning, we had the military thinking we were leaking like a sieve. Sieve. Meanwhile, the media is bombarding us with requests for videos and interviews and data. And the state's praising our tech with one side of their mouth while threatening to mist us with the other for getting so greedy. Give me a second. Had to burp, sorry.
You're valid.
Everyone in Noble CCE has been slammed ever since.
No burping on the clock, that's a paycheck.
Oh my god.
You don't pay me.
We're supposed to get paid?
No.
You guys are getting paid?
I was gonna say.
That's timesheet theft.
Trying to find an off-ramp for the story we can walk back the claims on without torpedoing our state contracts. I don't know what happened to Ashura. Whether it was a AI gone rogue or a company infighting gone too far. But I can tell you it wasn't done by consultants.
I got an achievement.
No.
What is she? Uncover the power... come on. Uncover the power plays at work inside Noble Electronics. That's an optional thing we only got somehow.
That all you wanted to know?
Just one more thing. You worked in CCE. Was David actually seeing a psychiatrist? Or was it all cloak and dagger bullshit?
I know that office. There's some old coworkers who see them.
So it's a front?
They do both.
Ugh.
So he was probably getting training, and he was probably talking to someone.
Is that a bad thing to ask him?
Sorry, not the answer you were hoping for?
Hoping? I wasn't hoping for any answer. The answer I expected was...
You okay?
That's all. Unless you've got any advice.
Saying you want a consultation?
Couldn't hurt, right?
This company, all these companies hate to lose. So don't fight them. Make them think you're fighting for them.
Well,
Eh.
that's just business as usual for me.
God, she's so fucking cool.
Oh, how are we feeling on time? I don't think we should go for more than one more scene if we want to have enough next week.
We are 3 hours in to today's stream.
3.5 hours, isn't it?
3 and
No,
a
it's
quarter.
three. Yeah,
Yeah, we started a little late.
Up until now, there's been this grating ambiguity about what actually killed David. We've had to use guesses and process of elimination and even a goddamn pseudonym. But I finally identified what the poison was. Now I just need to figure out how it got there. Or rather, who put it there. It took me back to here. An elevator shaft somewhere under or above ground, with kilometers of concrete facelessness and bureaucratic authority surrounding me on all sides. An enemy of every cubicle in every office of every floor of this temple, built to interpret the inscrutable divinations of a temperamental oracle named Share Price. I understood some of those words. Back in the belly of the beast. And yet I feel more at ease now that I have all weekend. Makes sense. Now that I know Noble's my enemy, I know where to aim. All that's left to do is pull the trigger.
This fucking shoots Helen Young when she gets up there.
I'll give him a second murder. Distracted from the first one. Good thing I didn't bring a knife to this fight. I brought my gun. And that sound just now tells me that it's playing its role perfectly. I never have a real use for a firearm with this much bloatware. I'll never
Oh
have
yeah,
a-
she did buy a gun at the start
She
of all
bought
this,
a gun with a
didn't
bunch
she?
of tracking shit on it. I'll never have
Yeah.
a real use for a firearm with this much bloatware. Just carrying around and paying attention to when the hard safety flips on. I always get a heads up when police have entered the vicinity. Hi, Detective Reyes. It's
Hey.
Morgan.
How'd you get her phone number?
Happy to get your contact info when you got me clear for the crime scenes yesterday.
Ah, there we go.
Delete contact. Block this contact. Stop voice
She's
to
a triple
text.
threat. She can sing, she can dance, and she found this gun.
The fact she saved her as Chuckles is really funny to me. I saw this screenshot. I assumed it was an edited meme.
No. How to stop voice to text.
Just wanted to check in.
Report this contact. Voice to text disabled.
Wow. And advise you that Noble's scared shitless of you stomping in and nationalizing the place. So they might be a little uncooperative when it comes to fetching documents.
Block this contact. What makes you think we are at Noble?
My bad then. Forget I said anything. And whatever you do, don't start your investigation with their stock buyback program.
Trying reverse psychology, it only works if I care what you think. Stop voice to text.
She's having a time.
About time. Thought I had to ride the elevator for the next half hour.
Molly?
Morgan Counselor, your presence has been requested on the upper floors.
Yeah, I bet. Deja vu.
Might you have a moment to speak in private?
Always. But who's asking?
The board.
Ooh.
Well, Molly, can I say something?
Yeah.
You have a really good voicemail voice.
Yeah, holy shit.
Oh, thank you.
You mean you have a really pretty voice in general, flirt flirt. What are the chances? I've been wanting to speak to them too.
Who gets to be the board?
I'm never bored when we're playing this game.
Man. Can we play this for 8 hours right now?
Conference room 108A. New character, question mark? Or just Jung again? Hello.
Evangeline Morgan.
Oh, I forgot about the accent. Helen Jung. Or was it Young? I forget.
Thank you for making time in your schedule.
Her posture, her tone, the fold of her clothes. Professional. Dialed up to 11. Corporate armor, a full set. A guard is up. Even wearing her most professional lingerie, I bet. Just Morgan is fine.
Stop undressing me with your eyes. You're
Never.
just a few minutes early, Morgan.
Typical corporate never be the first one to show up, pissing contest nonsense. Doesn't even make sense. They called me in here. How could I possibly be early? Fuck you. Oh, that's embarrassing. I didn't mean to catch you all off guard. I'll go wait outside in that case, so you can all collect yourselves. I'm just surprised that Noble Electronics could screw up something as simple as meeting start time. But I'm not well versed in the art of staring at emails.
You've made your point, Counselor.
You
Don't
got
push
chips
your
for
luck.
I got chips for that shit. They liked me doing that.
that.
Wait, like this.
Not with these people.
Might I dare ask who these people are?
You don't have the time to remember their names, and it won't do you much good either.
So I assume there's supposed to be more people in this room than just you and me, and we just don't have the budget for it?
They ran out of budget. $10 game, by the way.
Right, so they're not just rich, they're anonymous rich.
I'm referring to the glowing rectangles. Those are cameras by which people are watching in. Have you ever seen Evangelion?
No. But I have seen, Severance. So if it's anything like that, I mean, I get that.
It's exactly like that.
Okay.
Exactly like Severance.
Exactly.
The Mob Act guarantees a minimum level of security and peace of mind for any citizen who might be targeted due to their financial status.
That's fucked up.
Molly?
The Protection of Reasonable Anonymity
Bro, he's
Act
only
is a
ever
law
watched
passed in
Severance
2059 and amended in 2061, intended to protect the safety of individuals with income above the 99th percentile of the nation.
They don't deserve anything. Fuck. Okay, sorry.
I'm gonna so
Labeled
much
in the
Elon
press.
Musk's flight plans. Sorry.
Labeled in the press as the Mob Act for its supposed goal of hindering mob justice, the PRAA establishes procedures and funding for technology that helps individuals within that particular tax bracket keep their name, face, and addresses off the main net, ensuring that they and their families are not prejudiced against just because of their financial status.
Yeah.
I'm a minority. Economic uncertainty and civil unrest in the late 2050s led to a series of highly publicized crimes wherein corporate executives at a number of high-profile companies were stalked, harassed, and assaulted in net organized flash lynchings. After a particularly chaotic attack that resulted in the hospitalization of a 14-year-old, the PRAA was proposed, debated, and signed into law in just under 11 hours.
Yeah, of course it was. Sure, the money didn't help.
A flash lynching case has not gone to trial since 2062, but the PRAA continues to protect citizens to this day. Some economists have pointed to the PRAA and its promise of anonymity as to why the nation has enjoyed a relative resurgence in corporate immigration over the last few decades. But the purposefully obscured nature of the law's implementation have made the task of weighting its true economic impact effectively impossible.
If you
Anonymity
annoy
is-
Elon Musk on a video game, you're going to jail.
Anonymity is a word I struggle
What?
with, actually.
Spoken like a true believer. Except Mob Act is what normal people call it. Outing the party line but allowing yourself one instance of rebellion? Or just a slip of the tongue? I would never fault anyone for wanting their privacy, especially not job creators. Really speaking the language right now, Morgan.
Yeah.
But it must get pretty inconvenient not having a name to call them.
Not really. Conversations with them are always one-sided.
Sounds like a great environment to do business in. You can trust me.
Look at the building you're standing in. We managed to eke out a meager profit. Somehow. So if it works...
Didn't take you for the might makes right type.
And I didn't take you for a clueless boor incapable of reading the room.
I don't know what a bore is, but thanks. Sorry, did I say something off collar? I was only being casual since it's just the two of us in here.
Like a cad.
Maybe we should take advantage of this rare bit of privacy. Clear the air.
You're here to ask about Sarah, yes?
You know her name?
As I said before, I had no idea that Dr. Ashur had been building an android on his private property.
Did we know that she knew her... Sarah was with us when we interviewed her. Did she introduce herself? She probably did. That's not like her. Never mind. Retracted.
And I can say here and now that no one at Noble Electronics ever suspected that he was working to undermine the Tenet framework.
She's trying to sound candid in her tone, but she's choosing her words with a surgeon's scalpel. Was she coached? Is that the truth? Or is that your statement as VP of Android Futures?
It's both, of course.
Of course, I'm sure it is.
Dr. Ashur was always more than happy to hole himself up and work independently. We both know that.
True, he could be pretty reclusive. I'm sure it caused all kinds of headaches, him disappearing on you all like that. Must have been especially difficult when he came back with breakthroughs that propelled Noble to the top of the industry.
You should take a seat. If that's everyone, shall we begin?
Friendly bunch. Is there a problem with the sound? Anyone get muted by accident?
No.
Everybody having a good Zoom meeting today? Okay. Thanks for having me. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm actually a bit flustered having you all show up here. I didn't expect to talk to anyone up higher up than a service associate.
You're investigating the death of Dr. David Ashur. Why wouldn't we take that seriously?
Because you want me to go away.
Oh, that bitch out.
Have I mentioned how much I love Morgan? At least, half of you do. The others aren't sure yet.
You must be confused. The board is, as always, united in its decisions and its visions for the direction of this company.
Yeah, give me the Copper Speak lady. Oh. Uh-huh. The board of directors is just 13 roulette-rolling psychopaths who get together and vote on whether or not to execute their CEO every 6 months. None of them will be where they are if they were anything else. But I happen to know how that kind of person thinks. The way I see it, there are 2 possible outcomes. Option 1, you oppose me. Shut me out completely, stonewall me, stall me, wait for me to walk into trial so I'm prepared and I'll that line was going so well. Shut me out completely, stonewall me, stall me, and wait for me to walk into trial so I'm prepared and ill-informed that I inevitably lose. Obviously, I don't like this option, but you can't be big fans of it either. If I lose, the world will learn what David Ashur was killed by an android he programmed. And then every customer you've ever had, and every lawyer they've ever seen on TV, and every firebrand, strapping, young 60-year-old junior senator looking to make a name for themselves will use your company balance sheet as their personal chew toy.
The company is more than capable of.
After which the state still might just gobble you whole, and throw down enough sanctions to deperson whomever among you cries no fair. I didn't like that.
Now one of them is shitting their pants.
The company and its allies at the capital can more than fend for themselves.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yes, probably, but not definitely. Which makes it a gamble. Still my turn to talk. Then on to option 2. You cooperate with me. I use what you give me, or forge for me, to win a trial, proving that David wasn't killed by an android. When the markets open tomorrow morning, you all get another round of stock buybacks, and then the initial dip. Then pat yourself on the back for staying calm as you continue to profit off David's legacy for the next 100 years. And you wouldn't even have to worry about him speaking out of turn.
That's really cold.
That's only if you win.
Of course she's being cold. She's doing that thing where she mimics how people talk.
Yeah,
Like she's speaking their corporate bullshit language right now. Of course, she's talking about profit and not losing legacies.
Hold on, she's Morganing right now.
If the company cooperates with you, denies that David was killed by... and the state beats you anyway, it would be catastrophic.
Yeah, it's a gamble. But if at least some of your board wasn't considering taking it, I wouldn't be here. We're all busy people, and I'd hate to drive a wedge between such a close-knit group of friends. So how about this? Option 3. Hedge your bets.
What?
Put a little on black, put a little on red, spread the love and lower your risk profile. Don't make any statements about the trial. Tell the media the state's got your windpipe in a vice. Wait until just before the markets open Monday morning to send out your PR packages for rubbish stamping. After you already know who's won. One way or another, this trial will be over before the end of the day, and you'll never hear from me again. So just don't shut me out completely for another few hours.
And does anyone second that motion? Very well. We can answer some of your questions, Counselor.
This game is so fucking good.
Really good.
Better make them count then. No reason to be shy now. The poison that had killed David Ashore has been identified as synatonin. You're familiar?
It's one of our many patented materials, as I recall.
As I recall it being that one problem you couldn't crack that David cracked in his fucking sleep. You recalled it pretty easily yesterday. Gee, what's changed?
But intellectual property law can be very complex, Counselor. I'm not sure how much I or anyone at the company could tell you about synatonin at this time.
Well, if you can't tell me about it, who could? You did lead this development, didn't you?
Yes, I oversaw the project, which just makes it that much harder to speak freely without compromising the confidentiality of the teams that reported to me.
I understand. That sounds like bullshit, and I don't believe it. But I'm not asking for trade secrets here. It's a perfect match for the only foreign substance found in his blood. Synatonin is what killed him. The state will say the same.
That's not possible.
Care to elaborate?
I'm sorry, but I can't say any more at this time.
Well, that's fucking nothing. So much for cooperating. And if I were to ask you as an officer of the court?
Then I would ask you to be patient and wait until this afternoon. ADA Rockford has already called me to testify.
Yeah, I mean, I figured. Already? Damn it. I got cocky because of the cops' late arrival. I must have gone straight for the throat first thing this morning and left me investigating for later. Hell, knowing hers probably managed to ID the synatonin before we went to bed last night. I mean, she went to bed last night. Just misspoke a little bit. A little Freudian slip there. So are we still having this conversation then?
As I said, I'm sorry. But I have to take more. Pardon. But I have to take more than just my personal feelings into consideration here. There's a great deal at stake.
Corporate speak for you're too stupid to understand why I'm being dense. She's just trying to seal the company, plain and simple. LARPing is Helen Jung Dark on a crusade against government overreach. I hope I pronounced that right.
You did, yeah.
Yeah?
But if she's that busy defending Noble, she might be leaving herself unguarded. Why is she here, anyway? Why am I speaking to her and other lawyers? That's right. This is a vulnerable position for her. She wouldn't put herself in check like this. Not unless she was forced to. So that's it. Acting as their mouthpiece isn't some honor for her. This is a punishment. She's being used as a meat shield. They're upset with her. Perhaps even suspicious of her. Time to find out why. So the point was to ask about things that help me, and not things that don't help me.
Right.
Ask for things I already know the answers to. But we're not in court right now.
Well,
You can still lose chips.
Yeah. Why is Jung in trouble?
Yeah, this is specifically about why. Yeah.
Whatever else the court ends up labeling her, Sarah is a remarkably lifelike android. Had things worked out differently, you might have wanted her as the A16 poster girl. Or A17. Or 18. Could have driven a lot of sales. A cute little pout projected across the sides of skyscrapers.
it
A
was cute.
hypothetical
Aw.
of a hypothetical. As has been made tragically obvious to all of us, that android is nothing like the A16. That it may yet be associated with our products going forward is nothing more than a massive liability.
Yet you wouldn't have the A16 without her, and if they could take her apart and learn from her, they could have the world. So what's the motive to try and pry Sarah away from him? Did Noble know about Sarah at any time? I want to say no.
If you're not confident, you could stay and then come back to this line of questioning later.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Has David's will been located?
It had never gone anywhere. It's still in a safety deposit box. We'll retrieve it and have it read once all the unknowns surrounding his death have been made into knowns.
So David's will hasn't even become part of the equation yet? It might not be for weeks at this rate. Is that calculated, though? It's kind of slow, isn't it? Aren't you dragging your feet? Afraid that there's something in that will you'd rather not have seen the light of day?
We are not jealous in-laws who've been bribing the county sheriff, Counselor.
Damn.
Anything we try to claim would inevitably be overturned as soon as the will is read.
How was I supposed to know that was a bad thing?
Surely you understand that, Counselor?
Of course. I have to admit, I'm surprised you aren't more shaken up today, Miss Young.
I'm processing.
After all, you and David did have a history. You started at the same time, didn't you?
Yes, we were colleagues and cordial with one another.
This seems like a weird angle.
That's a very weird angle.
That's kind of a weird angle, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think your best bet is probably Sarah.
Yeah, no, Sarah. Sarah's worth a lot of money, in part because her creator isn't around to replicate her. Were you all hoping to take her by force and reverse engineer her once David was out of the way?
Don't be absurd. That machine is nothing but lawsuits and congressional hearings and PR nightmares waiting to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree.
The company doesn't need her, no matter how advanced she is.
You really fucking me up, Soph?
We only need steady growth and increased market share.
I did think it was jealousy, but like the reason I liked that line here in this context specifically was because the lead into this was, why are the board using her as a meat shield? Why is she specifically being punished?
Very true.
Oh, personal. That's right. This is all personal.
Very true.
It has nothing to do
Very
with the corporate company.
Yeah,
Trying
it
to
is
steal away-
important
trying to steal away Sarah.
context in mind.
Trying to steal away Sarah at brute bloody force does seem absurd when she puts it that way. Fine, I guess I fucked up again and chose all the wrong things.
Yes, all of them.
Whatever. Don't be so modest. You have to create the one-point doctrine that saved the company.
That is a gross exaggeration. Noble is far too large an organization to be affected by the contributions of any single individual.
Suppose you're right. No one can change Noble's fortunes overnight. Except for David Ashore, of course. But he was a once-in-a-generation talent. The guy Noble chose for the advertisements and the one they commissioned editorials about. Sorry, you're right, I shouldn't have equated the two of you. I just hope his one-point doctrine doesn't fall out of favor now that he's gone.
Yes, well, we certainly wouldn't want that.
Well, she didn't exactly explode with rage, but she definitely reacted. There's real jealousy there. Whether it ever boiled over, though?
Oh, I get it now. So, like, the point is to, like, strive for jealousy to prove that, like, Sarah didn't kill David, to pointing at someone else.
I mean,
That's why you're pressing for more.
It's one motive, I guess. It's a bit of a stretch.
Someone said it in chat, I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I didn't mean to pry about your relationship with David, or lack thereof. I suppose I'm just curious about his standing inside Noble as a whole.
David Ashore was and will always be an outstanding contributor to the company's forward progress. Nothing will ever change that.
Not even when he was killed by one of his own creations?
That would, of course, be a tragic element that would call for reconsideration of his legacy.
She was almost off guard there. Like she was surprised for me to be asking about Sarah ruining his reputation. Besides Sarah, Dave's reputation was crystal clear. He never went against the company once. Did he?
That's...
Unless I'm mistaken. And he and Noble were on bad terms. In that case, I might get the impression that some parts of leadership are actually glad to see him taken off the chessboard.
That is not...
Something buzzing in your ear?
Fine. I suppose it makes no difference if you hear it now, or at the trial, or at your feed tomorrow. Dr. David Ashur was being sued by the company for breach of contract.
That is very interesting, considering David's contract. But it doesn't say exactly what the terms are.
Emily, be honest with me. Do you know how big a contract is?
I guess I
Even
don't.
for just like basic for like employee.
I've seen a contract for promoting a video game on your Twitch stream. It was already quite long.
Yeah.
For my contract, it was I think 12 or 15 pages.
Yeah,
And I work customer
Yeah,
service.
that's right.
The Twitch contract was actually like that size too, so I'm a little surprised.
That's kind of shocking.
Hmm.
Satisfied.
Now we're talking. Well then, I suppose that's... Blackjack. So you couldn't have mentioned his breach of contract earlier?
Not without complicating the company's position unnecessarily. No. But there's no hiding it at this point. It'll all come out soon enough.
There's a paper trail?
Much more than that. We'd been making moves to it to let him go for some time.
What did he do, though? Noble Electronics parting ways with David Ashore. Must have been one hell of a breach of contract. What did he do?
He betrayed the confidence of the board.
That's nothing, girl. Give me something. Was he contesting the suit? Putting up a fight? Engaging in a legal battle against a mega corporation without even telling me?
Until recently? Yes.
You mean until he died? How recently?
We spoke on Friday.
That was what you talked about in his parlor?
No, this was earlier in the day. We were in this room, actually. Him, me, and several members of our legal department. It was an arbitration.
Calling in phone a friend? What does arbitration mean?
Oh, no. Okay, let me take this one, please. I deserve it.
Okay, go
Sure.
for
You
it.
deserve it.
Arbitration is a thing that they basically make employees sign to say, we're not going to sue the company, we are instead going to go to arbitration, which is controlled by the company. They basically pick out people, and you are legally required to go through to resolve any disputes with the company through company-selected arbitration processes.
Why would you do this?
Don't,
contract.
if you can help it.
But why would you do it?
Well, it's a requirement for being hired on in most companies. This is
it's like an
very
NDA.
common in America.
It's like...
You're
it's
writing.
like,
You're signing your rights away, basically.
I see.
I actually did not sign an arbitration agreement with a place that I was working at
Good.
one point, and I left over it.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
did you come to an agreement?
A compromise. He would resign from his position in 2 quarters, forgoing royalties on any products we would develop after the next 24 months. In exchange, he wouldn't be publicly fired, and he would still be credited on all past, present, and future filings.
He doesn't seem like a guy who would care about money very much, so... Very reasonable. On paper, maybe. No matter what the deal was, letting go of David ashore is insanity.
Reasonable. Yes. We ended on a good note, I'd like to think. We shook hands. Even took a photo.
Look how he's standing there, artistically.
Man, looks so happy.
Yeah, that looks, lovely.
Like David.
Yeah, how come we can't see your eyes, man?
Something funny? Didn't know the board told jokes.
They don't. That was legal, expressing their displeasure with how much paperwork my good note ending left them stuck with. Children. It was just one night of overtime.
They haven't ever done a fucking game jam. So while they were spending their Friday night blowing the ink dry, you paid a visit to David's penthouse. Something left unfinished?
Professionally, it was a good meeting. There was no yelling, no finger pointing. Much cleaner than expected. But Dr. Ashur did not want to retire.
We have so many points of fucking evidence for this one case.
Yep. Episode 1, by the way.
Episode 1, by the way.
What is those two coming out?
They said this year.
Sometime this year. He didn't want to be forced out of the company when he was the one who... when he had contributed so much. I didn't enjoy doing that to him, so I came over that night to apologize to him. We talked, reminisced. When he brought out the drinks, I thought we'd be toasting to a new day. A few minutes later, he was dead. Because of that AI.
That AI. Any idea how it came to be?
As I said, I had no idea he was working on it.
My question was more broad than that. If you really believe David built an AI, how do you think he did it? How does Noble Electronics think he managed to work around the tenets?
It's quite beyond my area of expertise.
I can't believe it is. You were his partner.
And no one at the company could call themselves an expert in illegal technology.
Oh,
Please.
But some in the R&D department have theorized that he created what they call a wax-wane decaying priority loop,
Put that one on the fucking wiki.
which, as I understand, is an unstable, resource-intensive theoretical method for pseudo-randomizing the weight amongst preset tenets.
Well, about as far off target as it gets with that guess.
Yeah, they pick
With
the
that-
tenets at random.
Mm-hmm.
Then it looks like intelligence. Whee!
I guess.
But that kind of inelegant brute force nonsense seems a far cry from the kind of thing David would create. And I seem to have taken us over our allotted time slot.
Well. But I didn't even get to wave goodbye.
You're serious about this trial?
Don't I look it?
You're not just making a play. You're actually going to defend that thing?
I'm just defending myself, Miss Young.
Oh, yes, of course you are. My mistake.
Projecting a little.
I hope you might be rooting for me, to tell the truth. I may yet save everyone's stock options.
The stock options will be alright, either way.
I mean, unless you elect some famous guy who wants to burn it all down or anything. No, I mean,
They always are.
that gamble I offered your board, which outcome would you bet on?
Finally, an easy question. What I would bet is that whatever the outcome, the company will eat it up and shit it out with very little difficulty.
Has she cursed before?
Is it weird if hearing you curse in that voice is kind of hot?
No.
Oh my
No.
god.
I appreciate it. You painted an ugly picture back there, but I've already seen the future. And it's just another marketing gimmick. The great Dr. Ashur, too smart, too bold, too far ahead of his time. What spark of his genius remains buried in the inspired animate 19?
Right.
Man, they skipped 17 and 18.
I guess that depends on...
You are exactly right. He is more valuable to Noble as a dead man.
Hmm.
Dead men can step out of line, or put their foot in their mouth, or hold politically inconvenient opinions. To a good salesperson, a dead man is just another selling point. Pardon my outburst.
It would be a shame if he had over 300 children out there to show exactly what he believed in.
I'm just tired. It's been a very long week for me.
I'll let you prepare for your afternoon then, Dr. Jung.
No one calls me doctor. I ask them not to.
You didn't want the title?
At times I have thought very little of it. The PhD I earned from a Noble-owned school.
Biochemistry. It couldn't have been a large department at Noble before they started working on warm androids in earnest. They probably didn't have many expectations for the program back when she was a part of it.
But I was proud of it when I first got it.
Something change?
It never seemed to catch on. People didn't use it, so eventually I told people not to use it. A very high IQ, social power play, you understand?
Reverse psychology? No, I don't. Why would she? Why?
People always call me doctor. Please don't.
No, they don't call me doctor. Nobody calls me doctor.
Doctor Who? David never insisted that people use it either.
That's very different, and I think you know it. David Ashur didn't have to.
First time he hasn't referred to as Dr. David Ashur by her.
Is that where we end for today?
I think that's the perfect endpoint because we are just about to hit the court.
Yay!
That's a save for me. I assume
Oh,
next week will
man.
be the conclusion.
Oh, without a question.
Well, are we gonna go short?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, we actually hit 4 hours here.
Just about.
Like, worst case scenario, don't forget that there will also be the bonus episodes.
Right.
Maybe
What
so
happened
it's
to
granted,
those?
but that's like a half hour between all of them.
I see. Well, everybody, I want to thank you very much for watching. I stream every Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, usually at 9 p.m. Central European Time, which is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join us again next Sunday when we play more of the Devil. Join me on Wednesday when I play more River City Girls 2 with AJ. And join me on Tuesday when I play Baldur's Gate 3 with Soph and finally finish my 2023 Let's Play.
Yay!
I'm excited.
Not finish, probably, but continue.
Yeah.
Resume. Also, I'll do
Continue.
something on Saturday, probably. I don't. I leave that one
I'll
open.
figure it out.
I'm gonna see if I can rate somebody. I hope y'all had a lot of fun. I sure did. This game is really blowing my mind.
God, this game is so good.
I'll be sad when
So
it's
good.
over. It'll
Yeah.
kill me to
No, yeah.
not play this.
Aw.
I'll find a way to fill the hole.
That's what she said. I am looking forward
I'm not
to
answering
chapter
that.
2 this year. I'm gonna see if I can rate somebody. I'm rating. Let's see here. Space Trade is playing Dungeons and Dragons. Can you just like play that like that? How does that work?
Yeah, why not?
Wait, now it says
It's for
offline.
D&D.
I'm confused.
Oh.
Oh, it just went offline. In that case, we are rating somebody I follow called Kalmia Amanita. I don't exactly know who this is. Sometimes I just follow people. She's playing Resident Evil 2, the remake, which I thought was quite good. Alright, bye everybody. Have a nice night.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Mhm.
Damn, that shit was good.